Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legends of Logomancy's Monday night stream. Today, we have a very special stream. You'll see a bunch of new faces that we have not seen before, and that is because we are with Pride Revolution, this wonderful, wonderful, almost Pride Month. So we are running a wonderful fundraiser from, I think it started May 15th all the way to July 1st to support the Trans Empowerment Project. This wonderful, wonderful nonprofit charity does everything they can to support our gender diverse community as we deal with more and more dangerous situations and legalizations coming down and things like that. So, if you have the chance, give us a donate. If you can't, share the link around. Even just come get your friends, come sit in, hang out with us, interact with us, add us on Twitch, Twitter, any of our social medias everywhere. Come say hi, come give us a shout, pass the word around. But now that the business is aside, tonight I have the pleasure of sitting down with some wonderful, wonderful queer folks to play April Kit Walsh's Thirsty Sword Lesbians. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, so I'm super excited to get into it. But before we really, hit the table, break out the acting bones, I wanted to read something directly from the book because I think it's something that should be said at every game table everywhere. And I was just trying to find it before the stream went live because I remembered I wanted to do this a little bit too late. But verbatim from the book, no fascists or bigots allowed. To play Thirsty Sword Lesbians, you must support racial liberation, intersectional feminism, and queer liberation. Respect transgender people, non-binary people, intersex people, and women. Respect racialized people. Respect Black, Indigenous, mixed race people, and other people of color. Respect sex workers. Respect disabled people. Respect immigrants. Respect lesbians and other people of queer sexualities. Respect people of experiencing poverty or homelessness. Respect neurodivergent people such as those on the autism spectrum. Respect fat people and people of all body types, and not demand that anyone educate you about their marginalizations. Another wonderful endorsement for this book is this is the only game rule book where I've sat down and read it front to back because it is so phenomenal. So if you get your chance, pick it up, order it online, find a friendly local game store. You will not regret it. But let's introduce our players. Firstly, we have Archangelic playing the wonderful Beetle tonight. Tell us about yourself. How you doing, Archangelic?
Hi, I'm Archangelic. You'll see me as Lantern Light Adventures in the chat. And I'm going to be playing Beetle, the spooky witch, pronounced she, her.
Excellent. We also have the wonderful Maze, played by King V.
Hi, I'm King V. You can find me in the internet streets as King V. That's with a Y underscore at the end. And I'll be playing Maze, also known as May, pronouns they, them for both of us.
Excellent. And then we have Atlas Terra, played by Raising Dragon.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Christopher Blackwell. I go by my last name Blackwell, he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Atlas Terra, who uses he, him pronouns.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have our wonderful Rock and Rye playing Vanita.
Howdy, folks. I'm Rye. I go by any pronouns. You can find me on the socials and Twitch and stuff as Rock and Rye, sometimes with underscores, sometimes not. And I'm playing the Beast, Vanita, who goes by she, they pronouns.
Phenomenal. And you all know me. I'm Neon. You've seen me around. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be your wonderful, wonderful story master today. Storyteller, story master, dungeon master, all the same to me. So let's dive into it. Welcome to the last mega city in existence. The year is 2150. Corporations have swallowed most forms of governance, and Neon City stands as a bastion of human intelligence, innovation, and most importantly, greed and capitalism. The 6 towering mega skyscrapers house thousands upon thousands to millions of people, all surrounding a central space elevator that goes up into the stars. This city is taller than one could imagine a city could be. Near the top, the wonderful sun lights the pearly white streets as gentle folk with familiar faces and familiar last names greet each other at the top echelon of society. And as we move down, we start to get the business portion of the towers as people do work, grind day in, day out for what pennies they can to scrape a living together. And below that still, there is the real Neon City, the Undercity, lit not by the sun or any natural means, but the dark, damp back streets that are crammed together between buildings that are half made, ramshackled, made of concrete and brutalist architecture, are lit by that purple and pink neon light, advertising whatever it is you are next to buy. At the very bottom of Neon City, on the ground floor, built on the ruins of what was once a very proud metropolitan city, there is the bottom of Neon City. And at the bottom of Neon City, there is a bar. And this bar stands in the middle of a completely destroyed neighborhood. Its bright yellow neon sign spells out Heaven's Last, surrounded by angel wings on either side. Inside, we find a mix of, if any of you have played Mass Effect, the bar on Omega 3, that sort of sci-fi gentleman's club where people are meeting, they're drinking, they are engaging in brain dances. Some of them have headsets on that are projecting images into their mind and processors. On empty tables with large poles, there are holographic presentations of women, men, and people of all genders dancing and putting on a show for the patrons. In the very back corner, there is a door to private rooms. And in one of these private rooms, we find our lovely party. Let's do reverse order. Vanita, why don't you describe yourself as you kind of sit in this room waiting for your mission briefing?
So Vanita is about 6 foot tall. She's got kind of long black hair tied up behind her in a ponytail, just a single regular kind of ponytail, but it's very kind of neat and orderly. She's wearing kind of a black trench coat with some kind of like a bit of an armor vest underneath it, and leather pants and boots. And she's got a long sword kind of thrust through a belt on her hip as she just sits at a chair with her boots up on the table, leaning back and staring up at the ceiling.
Awesome. Let's say Beetle, you're the next one in the room. How do you enter and describe yourself?
Yeah, Beetle comes into the room. She is kind of laden down with her heavy backpack. It's kind of held together by whatever she's found, but it has these like layers that look like the back of like a roly-poly or like an isopod, these kind of layers, and that's on her back. Her hair is kind of long. It was dyed purple at one point, you think, but it has so long since faded out of her hair. She she's got like a little like Tamagotchi just dangling from the belt with like just 100 keychains also there, so she kind of jingles as she comes in. And she's just wearing like a ratty t-shirt, ratty jeans, big stomping boots, and yeah, she comes in and just like, kind of plops herself down. The Tamagotchi's on like one of those like extenders, like so you can like reach it out. So she picks it up and she's playing it. The sound is on, like it's just making all
Beep,
these
beep,
beeps
beep,
and sounds.
Beep, 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 beep. Excellent. And let's do Atlas.
So I think Atlas is probably right behind Beetle as they're coming in. So he's hearing the beeping of the Tamagotchi and slightly just twitching at the noise. You see this 6'6" dark brown skinned man with shock white hair. Like shock white hair, full beard, mustache, and dark eyes. Has a cut on his, his left eyebrow, and he's wearing this Western style duster coat. Looks like a plain shirt. Has this necklace with what looks to be opalite, but could be any kind of material at this point. He has what military issued long sword on his back. He has like these gloves on, heavy boots, and he just finds a chair and takes this slouch forward position, like hands like this, as he's trying to block out the Tamagotchi sounds.
Does he Riker maneuver the chair?
Ooh, I'm trying to remember, what does that, like, spins the chair around?
It's like he like swings his leg over the back of the chair.
Nah, he's very much like plops down, legs are like spread apart, but his hand, like elbows are like on each knee, and it's just like
Gotcha.
he keeps just hearing the beep, and he's like, takes a heavy breath.
And finally, Maze, how do you enter the room?
I think Maze shortly, honestly, like enters after Beetle. Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we gotcha.
Nice. Like shortly after them, just sort of looking around at the place, taking in what they usually see. Maze has like deep brown skin with shiny pink and greens and blues, like iridescent chrome plating around their eyes and cheekbones, like along their jaw and like lips, and it blends into their regular skin tone and doesn't have like the usual like lines, like the telltale signs of it being chrome. They have like a clean white button-up blouse and an iridescent blazer that kind of makes you squint your eyes when you look at them because it's a little too bright. They have like a short black pencil skirt, these knee-high boots with like the chrome like toe and heel on it. And they have just like a little side pouch on their side, like almost like a fanny pack, sort of, that's just silver. And I think they walk in, they spot their teammates, and they give a small smile and immediately like makes their way towards everyone.
Excellent. And so you all are kind of sitting for a little bit, and you have, a chance to chat amongst yourselves, and how you doing, how you been, good to see you, glad we're all here. That backup on floor 4 was a really good nightmare, wasn't it? That sort of stuff. And in walks your fixer. All of you know Mouse. And despite her small in stature name, she is anything but. She walks in, and she is this like 6'6" to 6'8" woman. She is heavily decked out in chrome. You can see the multiple areas of her body where you can see the tracings of different implants and such, and where they would recede and extend from her body. And she walks in wearing just the most pristine white suit, white pants, white vest, white jacket, with a white shirt and a white tie. Her hair is cut short, almost in a military buzz. And she is somewhere in between muscular and soft. She's got that like professional weightlifter build. She looks at you all and goes, "Great. Just the people I wanted to see." I got a job for you, and I think you're going to like it. And she sits down. So, slot this, would you? And she'll toss you all a little chip. All of you are familiar with these chips. They're common in Neon City. Just about everyone has a data port that can handle these types of chips.
Okay.
So you slot them all in, and as she's
Mhm.
talking, you're seeing, blueprints, map details, lines of like text, guard rotations, different intel about this mission. She goes, all right, so anonymous client asked to be left out of this whole situation. Your job today is to break into the celebratory gala tonight and just grab the Alyssa, heir to the new tech throne. Should be fairly simple, fairly quick. Of course, security is going to be tight, and it's up on the top floor. So if you send this one sideways, there ain't no one to come help you. That being said, payout is more money than you could ever imagine. Whoever wants her out of the picture wants her out bad. Any questions? Any objections?
May like raises their hand.
May?
Am I to understand that we are to kidnap her and do what with her?
Just bring her back here. I'll handle the rest from there.
Okay.
Hands off. I don't know. Everything's with this client's all hush hush. I don't even know their name.
How did they get in contact with you?
Web. They connected private call. Someone with money, obviously. But untraceable. Everything about it is reading is sketch, but for the payout that we'd all be getting, I don't think we much care.
Run all this back to me one more time, because I'm just making sure I heard you correctly. We're supposed to kidnap this Alyssa girl, who's who is she again?
She's the daughter to the CEO of New Tech. She's supposed to be heir to the throne, and the gala tonight is in her name to announce that she's formally taking up that position.
And whoever this person is wants us to kidnap her, and we're supposed to just bring her here. Like,
Yep.
just like a normal Sunday afternoon through the park.
Yeah. They've requested you don't hurt her, if that's a concern of yours.
It's
King's
not, it's not even the concern. It's who we're supposed to be going after. And why us? Like, why any of us? This isn't something that a 4, 5, 6, or even less man team can do. And they expect us to do this?
I mean,
I think we're perfectly equipped.
Normally, it would take a multiple teams all operating at the same time to pull this off, but the data they've shared with us have almost made the job for you. Blueprints are there, guard rotations are there. Hell, you even have tickets to the gala. Only thing you got to worry about is getting there, getting her, and getting out.
Sounds like a typical like King's ransom kind of situation.
Yeah, I was
Pretty
about
much.
to say, it sounds like we're trying to rescue a princess here.
Mhm.
With all this heir to the throne stuff you're talking about.
I assume that. I mean, I don't know the details of everything on your end, but I'm assuming New Tech would pay a pretty penny to make sure she's safe.
That they would. I mean, lucky for us, the people up top haven't discovered immortality yet. It's good for business if they don't.
Aren't they lucky?
All right. Well, I'll be on
I
comms
think
if
we'll
you need
take
me.
it.
Excellent. there anything else I can get for the four of you while I'm here?
Hmm.
I could use a Mai Tai.
I mean, the bar's out front.
Well, you were offering. It's worth a shot.
Fair
No.
enough.
You know, Beto, for once, before we do this, I'm probably going to need a drink.
Best of luck. And don't get flatlined. I don't want to do the paperwork.
I wouldn't dream of it.
And she will stand up, leave you with some credits, enough to get any supplies that you think you may need, as a kind of forward on the job.
Hmm.
I think as soon as she leaves, Atlas is going to take that opportunity to go out and get a drink.
Absolutely. So, the plan details that you all have kind of access to include a general floor plan of the gala space, tickets with a false identity for each of you. Whatever name you want that to be is up to you, but they will validate at the door, so you have access to the venue. You have guard rotations and guard postings, so you'll know where general security will be. And you have kind of a image and descriptor of Allison and also her personal guard, who doesn't have a proper name, but the dossier that you have received just refers to the personal guard as Beta.
Hmm. Okay. Could I think a tool that I would like to use, or if I can use something to like gather information or study something, I would love to study the heiress just to get an idea of like, what do people say about her personality? Does she have any like known enemies, people who may
Absolutely.
would
Is
want
that
this?
a
things of that nature.
a Hollow Queen move?
Yeah, so with my Hollow Glamour, Stardust, when I have time to study something with specialized equipment, I can ask the GM any question related to it. So I guess this isn't something, it's someone.
That's okay. We get that absolutely is just a syntax thing that we can just gloss over.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you flipping through the dossier and what's on file, what you can tell is that Alyssa is fairly quiet. She's known to be a fairly good programmer, which is super important for New Tech. New Tech is the leading megacorp that does most like robotics and cybernetics, things like that. So having programs for those robotics and for those cybernetics to make sure they integrate with the human body well, to make sure they operate properly, is a huge part of their business. So she's known for that. She is shorter, about 5'3", 5'4". A little bit of a heavier set girl. Longer hair. Looks to be brown. It's hard to tell. The hollow discs only the data discs only really show in a monotone, but in the descriptors and like physical descriptors, you find that. You also know that her father has been trying to kind of set her up with another rich business owner, not another megacorp, but one of the smaller subsidiaries, to try and gain a little bit more economic power via ownership transference.
Arranged marriage? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That being said, nothing has stuck yet. You see multiple different suitors' names come through, and none of them seem to stick around for more than a week or so before either Allison rejects them, or they get tired of trying to make things work with her, or Beta does something and kicks them out. But it seems like most of it is reading that she's stubborn and maybe a little heart set on the like princessy true love type thing. Usually I don't like this one, I don't like this one, I don't like this one. We didn't connect, we didn't click. Like those are kind of her notes. Any of the ones from Beta, you're seeing, you know, like notes about like disrespectful. Didn't like how he looked at her this one time. Like tried to make a move when it was obviously not the right time. Like those like very like heavy defender type. Like her job, Beta's whole job is to keep this woman safe.
Yeah.
And that is what she is doing.
I think upon gathering all of that information, May like is quiet for a moment and they open their eyes and they're like, this let's make a bet. If our client is actually the heiress, I need everybody to buy me dinner. How about that? Because and they like lay down like everything that they saw or that they were able to find together. And they're just like, it's just too uncanny. No, I don't know.
Atlas just like raises an eyebrow to Maze and says, "Can you even eat? How does that even work?"
If I reveal all my tricks, then it won't be any fun, right? Don't worry about it.
So you can't eat. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Hey, I like to at least taste it. I can taste it. I can't digest it, but I can taste it.
Crystal gem energy.
So what are you thinking, Maze?
Honestly, I think kidnapping her is probably doing her a favor. As odd as that sounds. What do you guys think?
Honestly, this whole thing sounds like a flippin' fairy tale to me. We're rescuing a princess from the top of a tower, and there's clearly some kind of dragon gardener. This beta person sounds like some kind of gatekeeper or guardian, which is making me think, especially because private security. When people have personal security assigned to them, it's never good.
Yeah, you will note with the dossier that all the guards on file, they're not military, they're not Neon City Police Department, they are new tech private military.
Got it.
Like this is a new tech event. They're not only are they, you know, having this gala to tote power, but they're also like making subtle shows of military prowess as well and tech prowess. A number of the guards are fully robotic. Some of them are organics that are cybernetically modified. That sort of deal.
The other consideration based on who we're infiltrating, they ain't gonna let us take our blades in. We're gonna have to find a way to get those smuggled in and pick them up on site. There's just no way. So that's something we may have to shell out for. Do anyone know any contacts for who might be able to sneak a few extra swords in?
Jeez, I don't. I don't have any. I mean, Beetle, I don't don't know if your power works this way, but can you hide things in devices and like access them at a later place?
Kinda. I mean, if they want me
Hmm.
to. Like some of them like mess less than others.
Hmm.
But yeah, maybe we can find a place like this is complicated. Like maybe we can find a place adjacent to keep them and I can maybe pull them out, but I'd have to ask.
Okay.
And
So-
also sometimes you think you're going one way and then you realize that like instead of going forward you went like to the left and down. And it just it
Mhm.
happens sometimes. Computers don't think always in like our space.
Yeah.
So I can try. We can try and get there, and I can see if I can get past a wall and get inside. But it might. We'll have to see. It might become more complicated than that.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds good to me. Can't hurt to try. I don't have anything that I could keep it in. I doubt that it fit, on my inside pockets.
Wonder if I can get hired as a caterer.
if I lose this sword, I have a backup.
That's not a bad idea. We can find out who's catering the event.
Yeah. In the
Find out their
dossier,
uniforms.
there is information on the catering company. The catering company is a upper city, top tier, kind of like French cuisine, French inspired cuisines. So you've got your
Mm.
like duck confit and your more upper crust, high value meal items, scallops, like surf and turf, that sort of deal. Like it is a show of, yes, of course, whatever. I can do whatever. We can pay for whatever we want. We can feed 150 people lobster. And it's
Mhm.
real lobster too, not that synthetic stuff you get in the Undercity. But yeah, the catering company, you can find them easy enough.
Could we cop a uniform?
Pardon, one more time. Cop a
Could
uniform.
we? Yeah. Could we? Maybe, I don't know. What's the equivalent to eBay in this world? Like an old employee selling like their uniform. Could we possibly buy a
Absolutely.
uniform?
In fact, actually, so here's one more thing. I'm going to toss all of you. We talked in our pregame that this isn't season 1 episode 1. This is season 2 episode 3. So I will give all of you one use of my personal homebrew rule. I know a guy. Which is, you all know one guy,
Mhm.
and that one guy can do one thing for you, whether that's giving you a ride or getting you an item or proving as a connecting point.
We know a Jerry.
When you have, like, I know a guy, he does this thing specifically, and he'll be able to help. So
Got it.
I know someone. She's an actress, which means that she caters most of the time. I can get her uniform.
Absolutely.
Could maybe take it a step further. Maybe is she being hired by the event, like either to perform or she is doing catering, be part of her entourage, makes it a little bit easier. I'm not singing or dancing though. That's y'all can do that. I'm no.
Yeah. So you send her a little text over the holo. And she's like, yeah, no, like absolutely. I was supposed to cater this event tonight. But like if you really need in, like we can swap out. I don't mind, as long as I still get my paycheck at the end of the day. And like get rent. I don't really mind. I'll take the day off, sure.
Yeah. You'll get more than enough.
Awesome. Do you want me to like swing by your place or do you want to come pick it up?
I'll come pick it up.
Cool. I'll just send a text when you're heading over, and I'll have it ready. Cool.
Send thumbs up emoji.
One catering outfit obtained.
And rereading my character sheet, I can hide things in the unseen. So,
Phenomenal.
Nice.
so yeah, that's we got like that's our into like the back rooms of this place.
Mhm.
And like we can get stuff past security by keeping it in the unseen. I can pull it out and we can kind of go from there.
Sick. Very nice. Well, since Beetle will go in as a caterer, I'll just go in as a party guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
think that'll be easiest for the rest of us going as party guests. If by chance we can pick up a disguise along the way, like another one, blend in with the crowd, blend in with security, make as little noise as possible, see where it takes us.
Mhm.
Absolutely. If that's all the prep, we're gonna push forward to the next scene.
I think before we do, Atlas is still going through like the dossier and looking at the file that has Beta's name on it. I have an ability called Just Like You Wanted It, where you may declare that you or your allies have access to what you need in terms of timely opportunity, vital information, etc. As a trade-off, the GM will give you one messy complication that comes with this resource. I want to say that Atlas may know Beta. Like there's a chance that he knows them.
Sorry, which move is this again? Just like you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You may declare that you and your allies have access to exactly what you need in terms of a timely opportunity. Vital information, money, or similar assets for trade or a valuable contact. Okay.
Ooh.
So tell us which past life let you get exactly what the party wanted.
Whew. So going back many past lives, this person named Beta was another runner, but extremely powerful, extremely resourceful, almost uncannily strong. And at one point, they were there, then they weren't. They just disappeared. Now they're kind of like part of new tech. They have this whole different body, whole different makeup, and they used to be someone who was carefree, joyful, living the big life. Now they're more stern, stoic, just emotionless.
Awesome.
And Atlas is wondering, what did they trade to gain their position?
Yeah, absolutely. I will, going off of that, the opportunity that you have is that Beta is mostly cybernetics at this point. She's probably more machine than person. When you knew her lives ago, she was still an up and coming merc, an up and coming runner who was making a name for herself, taking that money, investing it back into Chrome to outfit herself. You know that amount of Chrome takes a lot of power, which means there's probably going to be a time during this event where she will have to tuck to a back room somewhere and recharge somehow, whether that's having a sit down and a nap or legitimately plugging in. You don't know, but there's going to be an opportunity where either herself and her charge are going to be away from the crowd. The messy complication is that running your past life in your mind, you're realizing like, oh yeah, Beta, I know Beta. Beta was like this kid who, no, Beta was this known runner. No, Beta was, and you're realizing that Beta shows up again and again and again and again, but is never older, is always wiser, and doesn't always wear the same face. something in the back of your mind gives you the uneasy feeling that she might just be like you. A soul, an entity, a data chip, a personality that is being transferred from body to body to body to body.
I relay this to everyone and then say, we have a way to get Allison. I cannot promise you it's going to be easy. And if it comes down to it, it may just have to be me and Beta at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you won't be alone when facing Beta. Beta sounds like a really powerful being that we have. I don't know if you want to be alone if it comes down to it. Be alone with everyone.
V, I believe you did something to your mic and you're coming through muddled.
Oh, am I?
Oh,
Hold
there you go.
on.
Now it's better.
That's better? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, May just says, I don't know if we should fight her one-on-one or leave someone alone to fight her. Yeah.
It's a lot easier if I'm the one who's facing her by myself. I see what she can do, and I know how far she's gone. I've been there, kind of sort of doing that, but not to the lengths that she's going. But that's only if it's an emergency, only if it's an emergency. But I at least do know that at some point, those two had to go away somewhere. While all the festivities are going on, they'll be back against a wall, essentially.
If they separate, that'd be a great time to grab her and just get out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as part of our prep work of getting our weapons in, we should make sure we have. See, I'm hesitant to call for electronic countermeasures because, you know, it affects some of us as well, especially you, Maze. If we deploy a chaff or an EMP device to deal with Beta, it's going to affect more than just Beta, which, I don't know.
I can ask the security system to just be nice to us for a little bit.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the security system, Beetle. It's Beta herself. It's
people are more complicated.
She's more chrome than organic. Then that makes her vulnerable to electricity and pulses and such. But I'm also acutely aware of those of us who are more chrome inclined, shall I say. So it's an option, just speaking from from past experience, but it would be something, again, kind of like Atlas is mentioning, it would probably be a last resort to give us time to get out or something.
We can see if the machines want to help us. Hell, we can even see if the machines can possibly stall Beta somehow recharging. The best thing we could do is we get in and see what happens. All I know is no one be by themselves. No one pull any kind of heroics. That's the last thing we need. We remember what happened the last time someone tried to pull heroics.
Everybody's like looking up, whistling. Like, it wasn't me.
I had nothing to do with that. No.
He's just kind of looking at each and every single one of them, heavily looking at Beetle and Maze, just like,
He's
you two
desperately looking for something to focus on, for something else to focus on.
Beep,
So
beep,
let's
beep, beep, beep.
so let's do this. Benita, you take Maze. I'm gonna stay with Beetle. We move like that.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Excellent. So plans are made, glasses are set back down on the bar tables, and out of Heaven's Last you walk. Beetle, of course, takes an extra stop to grab a caterer's uniform from her friend. How does getting up to the top levels look for all of you? There is, of course, a multitude of different ways. Some people use the central space elevator shaft to transfer long distances between the multiple floors. There are roads, there are, side paths, side elevators. What does your character, how do you move about the city?
Beetle likes to take less trodden paths through the city. She'll find a murder alley, like places to, like people would be like, I don't want to walk in there. Beetle will just walk into places and find her way through. She likes the quiet and to hear the song of all the little machines in the city. So that's what she does as she makes her way up.
Absolutely. So our first camera shot follows Beetle down through tight alleys and tight corners. Dripping pipes leave echoing sounds of water as you step through and almost dance in a way through the city, as one step is just as elegant as the next as you phase and move with the song. And away you go. Who's next in our little travel montage?
I think for Atlas, he does like a little bit of mixture of like taking main pathways, but also back roads and elevators. For once, he's gonna access like the voices that are constantly trying to talk to him that he blocks out to find his way to the upper level. And as he's doing that, each level that he climbs, there's a memory from another life, another time that he's painfully remembering getting iced there, losing a companion there, messed up a job there, found love here, had some terrible, terrible steak there. Why was that? Why did I even go there?
Would you like to mark an extra tragedy up as you commune with your past selves as they chatter and chitter away about, well, we lost them there. Oh, I remember how they used to smile. I remember, as you try to keep yourself focused on the here and now, or letting your mind wander. If you'd like, you can mark an extra tragedy up to 2.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's see how far we can take our tragedy.
Absolutely. And so as you wander alone through the city, we get this shot of Atlas like going in one direction, approaching a wall, having a moment of, wait a minute, this wasn't like this, and then turning and redirecting, and this wasn't like this, and stopping in the middle of a dead street like there's a wall in your way, and moving to somewhere else, and weaving through the city in this way where you're almost navigating 2, 3, 4 cities that are all overlapping. Who's next?
I'll go next. Benita is kind of, given her situation, is kind of trying to stay low, kind of unnoticed. So she tends to, instead of using like private transportation, like a hover car or something like that, that will get her there quicker, but would also probably have her tracked a fair bit easier. She tends to try and use like public transport as much as she can. Like she'll blend in, she kind of stand in crowds and such, so that it's harder for people to make her out. But of course, there's always a possibility when using public transport that things happen. So and given her nature and the things she holds dear, she, if someone's being an asshole, for lack of better terminology, she might feel compelled to intervene, and it kind of, the whole kind of going unnoticed thing doesn't work either way, because
Absolutely. So I'm just finding the Beast playbook really quick, because I think having something happen would be interesting and fun. Let's see. Okay. So the Beast playbook has this really fun mechanic called Feral. The Beast's central conflict revolves around living their truth versus fitting in with a dominant social order. The Feral meter is just that. You may walk in civilized circles, but sooner or later, your feral truth will come to the forefront. Your feral score starts at 1, and if it hits 4, you can't hold back the beast any longer, and you transform. If your feral drops to 0, you lose access to all your beast playbook moves until it increases again. On the plus side, you're fitting in, you blend, you're assimilated. You increase feral if you express yourself in a shocking way through your appearance. You display these display intense emotions that society wants you to conceal. You decrease feral when you feel that your bestial nature has hurt somebody that you care about, or you go along with an uncomfortable interaction to fit in. So, as you're moving through public transit, it's called the Q line, is the train. And it's called that because the train line goes in a big circle that connects all the outside towers. And then there is a single transit line between the outer circle and the inner spiral that coils around the moon, the space elevator. So as you go up that coil, things get cleaner. The trains get nicer. And as the trains get to that middle section, that intermediary point between the undercity and the upper echelon, the transit fare collection service is a little bit more present. And as you're sitting minding your own business on the train, they come through, tickets, ticket. And you notice just a few seats away from you, the ticket guard is having an issue with one of the other train riders, the passengers. And is, where's your ticket? This is like, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to get out at the next stop because you haven't paid your fare. And like, I'm going to write you up a fine. Sorry, like you're going to have to get off. And the person sitting in the seat is doing the standard, the Neon City standard, which is, oh no, I must have just forgot it at home. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I have a pass. I just forgot it. And you can't tell at this point if they are being genuine in their I forgot it, or they're just trying to find an excuse to wiggle out of a possible infraction or charge that they might have to deal with or pay.
As far as the ticket guard goes, can I tell whether they're being, when they say things like, "Oh, I'm sorry," are they telling the truth, or is that just a platitude?
I think. How about you decide? How about you decide? Is it a truth or is it a platitude?
Given these history with the corpos, ungovernmental authorities, I definitely think she'd consider that a platitude. Which at that point, she would head over
Mhm.
and just stand kind of. How tall is this guard?
He's like average height, so about like 5'8", 5'9".
Oh, good.
He's
So,
wearing like a Neon City Peace Department kind of vest. He's got like a helmet on that has like the full visor. You can't really see his face. Their uniform is meant to kind of present as a faceless sentinel representing law, and that's what kind of comes across.
Vanita's taller than him, so she's going to loom behind him
Mhm.
and just be like, "Look, man, it's a special day with what's going on with the big corpos. You know, the princess is getting crowned today. Can't you just let this one slide and name a good cheer?"
I'm gonna have to ask you, where did you? This is of no concern to you. I'm gonna have to ask you to return to your seat.
You can ask, but I'm not moving. And she's just gonna stand there and fold her arms, kind of quirking her eyebrow a bit.
Can ooh, is there a move you can make?
She's trying to, in a way, she's trying to portray big dyke energy right now.
Oh, absolutely. Love big dyke energy. Oh, when you make it clear to your foes that you're the biggest threat, then for the rest of the scene, whenever you roll a 10 plus, you may choose someone present to be impressed or intrigued with you. Once during the scene, when you gain a string on someone, gain an additional string on someone else who considers you an enemy. Okay, fun. Absolutely. How about we're gonna roll a fight because it's one of the main moves aside from actually no, that's me moves. Haha. I was reading the GM moves like you could do them too. Actually, roll to figure out a person or entice.
Okay. Let's see. What wins does she have? +1. Entice might be better. I'm just checking the move sheet real quick. Entice. No, they're both +0. So either way, I'm gonna try and figure out. So that's plus wit. So that's a straight 2d6.
So while that's rolling, I'll take a quick minute. Thirsty Sword Lesbians is a powered by the Apocalypse game, which means we are rolling 2d6 to try and meet a 10 plus for ultimate benefit, or a 7 to 9, which is a mixed success. Anything lower than a 7 is a failure. And I get to do fun things with that. Oh, hi. Whoa. Oh no. Okay. So we just got a note in from the wonderful, wonderful James that we have reached one of our fundraising goals. As such, I need to take a shot of the wonderful Dr. Ramshackle's juice that makes you explode, and then continue to play. For more information on what this is and how horrible it is, please visit the Tiltify and consider donating yourself. Okay, Vanita, what did you get on your roll result?
A 4. I was busy looking at the the thing. I didn't see how Neon was reacting.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers. What were your roll results?
Just
It
so you
was-
know, just gonna do the prayer emote real quick.
Yeah. I got a double 2, so it was a 4.
4.
I failed.
Okay. For sure, that is a failure. So you don't really get a read on this guy. The mask is just too blocking out too much. The only thing that you're really getting is that he's an authority. He means to do his job, and you are getting in the way of that right now. Okay. Oh. God damn it. I love you guys. But like, God damn it.
Pain, suffering, pain.
I'm gonna have to ask you to sit down now. Spicy hiccups.
Oh no!
Fighting for your life over there.
Absolutely. Actually, this guard just explodes. He's just gone. Oh. He's so scared. And he vacates immediately out the window. Congrats. You win. And the passenger looks at you and she goes, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I really thought he had me there. I don't have a ticket. I can't afford them, but I really needed to get up to work because it's my first day on the job. And I can't afford anything yet, but like once I get this job going, I'll be able to. Thank you so much." Oh.
Can I try and figure out this person?
Yeah, you can try and figure out this person.
I'm gonna look crap again, probably, but again, this is to see if they're telling the truth. That's a 7 at least.
That works. You can ask 2. Wait. Yeah. You can ask 2 of any of the questions that are listed there. But I get to ask 1 of you in return.
Yep. What do you hope to get from this new job of yours?
I'm really looking to like finally support myself. I grew up in a family of 6 and we're living in a single room apartment down in the Undercity, and it's really cramped, and I really want to help out my family.
And is that what you love most? Your family? That's kind of a slight modification on that question.
Yeah. No, like things are hard and we don't have a lot, but like we take care of each other. And you know, like we're not like even like family. We're, you know, like we all just share a room, but like we've become family and we all care for each other and support each other. Breathing is hard right now. Oh, it's spicy. But yeah, they're I'm so sorry. They are, we love each other, and you know that I'll pitch in where we can. My best friend, she was working in a factory, but she sustained an injury and she can't work anymore. So it's my turn. I have to go work and pitch in. because I was trying to get an education, but now that there's not enough income, I have to work. So, no, this really means a lot. Thank you. I don't know how I could repay you.
Is that the question she's asking, Benita?
She goes, what do you hope to get from from stopping him? Like, why did you do that?
I used to work up there a lot,
Yeah.
and I've seen the shitty sides of corpo life.
Mm.
And people who stomp on others just because it makes them feel good in more ways than one. And I'm gonna be honest, it just kind of pisses me off. So did I have anything to get out of it? Sort of. Justice. Maybe a little bit of the old revenge. But as far as repaying me goes, you don't owe me anything. And if there's any of the advance left, she would probably give it to this this person, and just say, look, on your way back, make sure you get a ticket, because I might not be, someone like me might not be here to rescue your ass next time. Okay.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. This is going to go a long way. I can get work boots. And thank you.
Make sure you get that return ticket first before you spend it on your work boots and stuff, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
like I say,
absolutely.
You'll do. Just trust it was from someone who also has a family to look after.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. What was your name?
It's Benita. And she kind of
Thank you, Benita.
She kind of gives a small smile and then kind of saunters off back to her seat.
And she'll sit, and she kind of pulls out her phone and is texting someone about what just happened. And then when you get off the train, you kind of pass her because you have to transfer to a different line, and she's going to a different spot than you are. You can see that she's like kind of scrolling through a shopping site to find steel toe boots and like work gloves, things like that, to kind of get herself ahead. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Okay. And before we do Maze's transition scene, we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. So we will see you back in 10. And we will pick up with Maze's journey up to the top. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Thirsty Sword Lesbians as we pick up with Maze. Maze, how are we moving about the city? How are we getting up to the upper tiers? What does that look like for you?
I feel like Maze is using any shortcuts that they're able to find. I kind of like the idea of them being able to like blink and see in a different. My cat is knocking things off of my desk.
As cats are wont to do.
Of course. Very much on brand for Maze, honestly, with like their curious cat energy. But yeah, I think they just wait, I'm sorry. Let me actually take this from her so she's not skirting it around.
Yeah, absolutely. So as the train continue, we'll roll back a little bit. The train continues to spiral up its track, going up towards the upper echelon. We watch as Vanita gets onto train stops and onto different trains, transferring and moving through the public transit system. We watch as like our transition goes from the like really undercity, underdeveloped, rusty train, garbage floating through the air as the train rolls by, to it's dust and like a train that's old but well kept, to the final kind of transfer. The train that picks Vanita up is that sleek silver chrome bullet train type design. The interiors are leather seated, they're clean, they're air conditioned unlike the other models, and they have that like faint scent of like pine. But I mean, none of you have ever really smelt a pine tree, so that's what they call it. And then our final transition scene. Our final transition scene is Maze.
Yes. Sorry about that.
All good?
Yeah, I think Maze looks for the shortest way possible. I think when they blink, they kind of can change what type of vision they're seeing. So like they can see like heat signatures maybe, or they can see like, like a almost like X-ray, but not, like not through like solid objects and things of that nature. And I think
Kind of matrix vision.
Yeah, exactly. Like they see like matrix vision, like a code lighting up a path, but like the shortest way to the gala. Somewhere hidden, very like low key, ducking in like shadows. I think they very much enjoy. I don't know. I guess like the stealth of it all, like hiding in plain sight. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you, Maze, it's easy. Being like this an AI program and a holographic self, it's easy to kind of pop in and out of reality and kind of blink between spaces and travel a short distance, crossing streets by appearing on one projection and then fading away and appearing on one on the other side of the street. It's almost as if during this transition you're not walking the streets, but you're walking through the multiple digital advertisement signs as you like walk in front of or behind different screens and advertisements and transition your way up throughout the city through its digital capitalist light. Making different advertisements and screens static occasionally as you move through them. Okay. And as we transition to the upper city, we see these advertisements change. In the lower city, there is so much focus on just the like next big thing. The you need this, or your life is going to be better if new in 52 different flavors, 100% real synthetic meat, like that sort of deal. Bright colors, catchy statements. In certain areas of the city, honestly, in the entire Undercity, the statement "sex sells" is so literal. And as you move up, the advertisements start to change as well. Moving across these screens, moving through everything, the advertisements, they change. They become more elegant, more graceful. We start to see more clean cut lines, more that like white, black, and gold elegance. Less "your life needs this now," and more "live a life of luxury with new tech's new, 4-wheel hover sports car. Have you ever considered sailing away on a solar yacht?" And there's like a picture of like a giant kind of yacht type vehicle that is using some type of electric or solar energy to stay afloat in the sky. They become less everywhere and more in specific spots. And as a hologram, how do you keep yourself kind of fitting in with the environment as you go from this neon drenched, damp undercity to like the clean, white, deconstructionalist architecture of the upper city? What does that look for Maze?
I think as they're like going through the different like screens and literally walking through these advertisements, their style is changing to match whatever scene they're walking into. So, they are going from, the next like 52 flavors of like this drink, and they have like a like bright electric blue hair that's like, frizzed out, very much like anime, like Dance Revolution type of vibe, you know what I mean, with the outfit.
Mhm.
And then as they get up, they're like, they come dance on this solar yacht. They're wearing like
Mhm.
pristine, like gold and like sleek black, like some asymmetric like dresses and such, like tight buns, like with high bangs, like swirled into it, just like flawless, pristine looks. And I think it also just starts to shed into the outfit that they will actually wear to the gala, which is always something that will always be true to Maze, is that they love an iridescent shine to things. I think they have this like
Absolutely.
heart-shaped, like long, kind of train of a dress going on with it. It looks in certain parts of it, like it looks glitched out. There are definitely flaws in it. Um, but I think they try hard to hide those flaws and like rewrite the code within the dress. They, have like an elegant like necklace going on with like a large like centerpiece. They're just trying to truly look like I belong in this space.
Phenomenal. And you wear it with grace. And we arrive in the upper city at the gala space. The new tech celebration hall is the word opulent becomes an understatement. Large white columns that call back to ancient Rome extend forever upwards, in between arched windows that are pristine. As our heroes, as our edge runners approach the venue, either finding themselves in the front, or Beetle, you're probably going in through the back service entrance in your caterer's outfit. We notice as we're walking through the streets, there's a number of different cleaning and custodial robots, all branded in that clean, sleek white new tech design, as they sweep streets, pick up trash, and keep everything sparkling. You notice up here, even the most non-consequential person is dressed in a way that honestly says, I have more money than a single family in the underground has. This suit cost more than their rent and monthly food and everything else combined. It is dripping with wealth. As we step into the gala, there's a number of different people all there, some of which are prominent social figures. A number of you can clock, Neon City's mayor and cabinet. Everyone knows that they're just a figurehead for the corporations to do whatever the hell they want with, but they're there because the government has to exist, at least even in a pretend way. Famous musicians, famous artists are there, very much in the same way that like early classical composers like Chopin and Mozart were basically sponsored. These musicians are having that same experience where, some owner of a company is sponsoring them to make money, make art for their houses, for their homes, and kind of be an on-call creative for them. You also see a number of business owners, some that you recognize, some that you don't. Vanita, you definitely see some like Full Metal and Associate higher ups here. Nobody that you would have interacted with personally, or like they don't know who you are. They're too far up the chain for that. But like, during your, mission briefing and like first day on the job, they were like, "This is our CEO. He is God." And you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that face." Those sorts of deals. Stepping into this room, the crowd is almost Met Gala-esque beauty and fashion. Everyone is wearing a statement piece in some way, and it is such a brilliant flash of color against this clean, sanitized white interior. Music is playing. The caterer's tables are not quite set up yet. It looks like the white tablecloth and like long tables are there, but the hot plates haven't been filled. They're still setting up. It's still early in the event. And you notice on your way in, I'd say Atlas and Vanita, since you're the more combat-minded of the group, I would say, you for sure clock, 2 heavily armored guards at the front. One there, and you can see that like, yeah, the guard rotation information that you received is 100% accurate. And there's 2 at the front. There's near the back of the event, there are stairs that go up in this big like curved elegance towards kind of a raised stage. On that raised stage, there's another long table where you can see kind of the head, like the new tech head CEO is there. His board of CEOs is with him, as well as sitting next to him is his wife. And next to the wife is the daughter, Alyssa, your charge. And standing behind Alyssa's chair is Beta. Beta is fairly slimly built. You can tell it's made for efficiency. And from the dossier and even looking at her now, you can't tell if her headpiece is a helmet or if it's a fully cybernetic head placement. But it has kind of 2 white plates with a single black line down the middle with a large red ocular port in the center. Almost similar to like if you've seen Portal's turrets, that kind of white sleek design with that big red eye in the middle. And she stands there kind of at attention behind the family. How do you all go about entering yourselves into this environment?
I would say first, part of our plan was to hide like our weaponry and things in the unseen, and I have to do a whole ritual for that. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I have the ability to commune with the unseen, which in this case is like all the AI and everything acts as like the unseen part of the city. They communicate in a way that like most people don't think about. So sometimes I talk to them. I have to roll. I give a dangerous unseen a string on me. So that's something for you when I do this. So I'm going to roll and see what I can do. That's plus spirit. So that is 12. So I get to just choose 2 abilities. I don't have to pick a dangerous one. So
excellent.
So, of course, hide something in the unseen world. I'm going to hide our stuff there.
Absolutely.
I'm going to temporarily alter the unseen nature of this place. I'm
Okay.
going to say, like, I'm going to ask the cameras nicely to just slightly avoid my friends, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's something that you can see off the bat. I don't think it catches anyone else's attention, but you'll notice that they go from their like regular like back and forth monitoring to like occasionally they will kind of stop or bounce at different points to avoid putting your friends directly in line of sight.
Love it. And part of her like ritual to do this is that she just finds some random terminal and
Yeah.
like connects her Tamagotchi is not fully just a Tamagotchi, it's some piece of tech that she has cobbled together. So she just connects it and just like does her thing and like sends little messages to the unseen AI in places.
Yeah, and I think since we're talking about like the song of the city and the city talks constantly, is constantly alive with whatever is living in the wires. You hear is like kind of that response. You hear hide them, keep them hidden. As the cameras start to kind of bounce and play their own little game.
You're such good little friends.
We're always here. And that kind of sentiment echoes throughout the building. You can hear it like kind of waving back and forth. Where the Undercity, you'll notice with the song, where the Undercity is kind of this constant cacophony of like voices and statements and beings and entities living all together. The upper city pulses. It's not random. You can hear the song go up and down and up and down as it continues to kind of flow, almost like gentle ocean waves through this upper city as they ebb and flow.
Ooh, they're fancy up here.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So actually, and we'll write this in too, since we didn't explicitly show you hiding the weapons back during your time at Heaven's Last. The rest of you who are kind of at the front of the building getting ready to go in, you have a moment where you're like, oh yeah, okay, and I've got all my stuff, and you reach for your sword and you feel the handle, and then it slowly disappears from your grasp as it becomes folded in the unseen.
There's little icons on her Tamagotchi of like 4 little sword icons.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's little like I think you get that little like ding like item get, and there's like a little like 8-bit version of each person's sword in your Tamagotchi. And I think your little like Tamagotchi like avatar is kind of like holding one of them, is doing like one of those like 8-bit jostle back and forth.
Give it a snack.
Yeah, excellent. So you do that, you get yourself all set up, and then you're whisked away into cater stuff, like we need this hot plates on the first tables, this is ready to go, this is ready to go out, and then also like you need to like what are you doing, you need to prep this, and you are lost in the like thrum of like, oh shit, people have expectations of me.
Yep. She's in her black slacks, the white shirt, the black vest, the little bow tie.
Yeah, absolutely. At some point, the setup rush ends, and you're given like one of those arm towels in a tray that has probably either champagne flutes or snacks, whatever is most scene appropriate for you later. I will let you decide whatever is on it. Okay. Excellent. We cut back to the front, the rest of our 3 party goers. How are you walking into the venue? How are you approaching the situation?
I believe Maze, Atlas, and Vanita were gonna be party goers, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm still getting pepper on my breath. Ugh.
I think the initial plan was for all of us to pair up. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay, so then I'm gonna assume that Atlas is with Beetle. Maze will look to Vanita. We're both dressed in to the nines in our Sunday's best,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Are you ready to go? Should we make any more preparations?"
Uh, I'll tell you this much. The intel was good and solid for the most part.
It was.
Everyone's where they should be, so let's do this before the plan changes, because it's gonna freaking change. So
Yeah, let's get ahead on that.
you know what I say, no plan survives first or second contact with the enemy.
I think Maze will write that one down. Like a
Yeah.
little like pencil and pen. I mean, pad and pen, like manifest in their hands. Like the
Yeah.
pixels like collect, and it just pops out. And they're like, okay, that's organics. That's a good one. I'll use that next time.
Absolutely. That's good.
Yeah, we head on in.
All right. You head in. You are free to mingle with the crowd as you please. The agenda of the event that was in your dossier states, they're still in their pre-setup, and then there will be kind of a little bit of a dance type environment for a bit, and then there will be a speech followed by dinner, and it is up to you, kind of which one of these events you want to lean heavier into, or how you want to handle these two events. So, firstly is the dance. Secondly, the speech and or dinner. Those can be 3 sections if you so choose. And it let's use another one of my fun game mechanics that I like to use, which is click, which is what I use for when my wonderful adventurous party steps on a trap. We're not on a trap right now, but this is going to be our kind of Fallout VATS system, where you're going, this is the amount of time that we have. These are the 4 actions I want to take, or these are the 3 actions I want to take during this section of time. And it will kind of help us plan out our story beats for the first half of this event.
Okay. I wonder would it be possible to snag a dance with Alyssa or Beta?
Yeah. You can absolutely attempt to snag a dance.
Yeah. That's one of the things I'll attempt.
Okay. Anyone else during the dance portion? Are we going to have a nice, really long romantic dance between Maze and someone?
I think Atlas right now is realizing that he can't go with Beetle because, again, not just realizing now, not dressed, not dressed to be a caterer or anything, but is like staying to the outskirts of like everything, like of the entire ballroom as kind of setup. But he's mainly eyeing Beta. Like he sees Allison, but he's mainly eyeing Beta and hearing the voices go through his head, just chittering and chattering about who and what they were previously, and seeing those memories and now seeing them like this now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think Beetle is. I want Beetle to be in sight of the party as much as possible. So she's probably going to be trying to like weave her way through with like champagne flutes, just making sure to like make eye contact with the party as much as possible.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say with the support that Beetle is providing, no matter where you are in this event, you are able to communicate with each other via Beetle coming and bringing champagne flutes by, and you kind of lean over and make a note or a request or a message, and then Beetle is able to take that message to anyone else in the party.
Do I happen to see anyone here that we may all know or that I may know specifically?
Yeah, you notice that in attendance, I have to go back to our Discord here really quick, because world building is fun, and there's a lot of stuff that was discussed even just today. Um, you do notice throughout all, um, hmm, yeah, yeah. You notice through all the dress and the fancy dress and the different outfits and stuff, you'd know that hat anywhere. Um, as your longtime friend Atticus is in attendance, and seems to be talking some tech monolith's ear off about something that they're working on. It's not often that independent inventors are respected. Uh, Cog or Atticus is one of the only kind of current freelance tech developers and makes a little bit of money, quite a bit of money, making little fixes and gadgets and consulting on different projects.
I'm gonna go up to them, like not make it known that I'm moving towards them, but kind of
Mhm.
moving around. Seems like I'm mingling with people while taking it sipping on the drink that I have until I'm kind of like shoulder to shoulder, but facing a different direction, and
Yeah.
just quietly say, "What are you doing here?" Just as I'm sipping my drink.
Um, my job, and we see quite a bit shorter than you, um, Cog and Atlas. Since it's your NPC relationship, why don't you describe what Cog looks like for us?
Sure. So Cog has like this fancy top hat that has goggles on them, a purple vest, like a purple vest, white dress shirt, has he has his workshop gloves on like clearly displayed on his back is his rifle Sheila, but looks like he's modified it to be basically non-functional. It's just essentially a prop.
Yeah.
He has his tool belt around him, and what else? What else? Dress pants. He has his ears. His ears have been modified so they're more pointed like, and
Mhm.
it's funny seeing these two near each other where Atlas is 6'6", Cog is like 5'4", 5'5", so major height difference.
Mhm. And he takes a moment and he goes, well, I'm conducting business. As you can see, this is a very large event. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to um, gain different business ventures and get a lowdown on what's out there tech wise.
With new tech?
I mean, advancement is advancement, and either I know about it and I'm ahead of it, or I don't know about it and I'm behind.
Cog, you can't be here right now. It just
Oh, shush. It's fine.
in what way is this fine? As Atlas kind of does a small motion of this, but then pointing
I
out,
mean, it's a social gathering. There's a large crowd of very, very valuable people. As far as I'm concerned, as long as I play by the rules, no one's about to fire off a gun into this crowd because, I mean, to say that they'd be working off that debt for the rest of their life is an understatement.
if they even have a life to be working off of afterwards.
That's right.
Just
Purely business. And I mean, hey, push comes to shove. I modified Sheila to be a statement piece tonight, but I can always undo that. Just don't tell the guards that.
Just be careful. Don't draw too much attention to yourself. And just, it's good to see you, though. At least there's another friendly face here.
Always a pleasure, Atlas. And as Beetle kind of comes by, Cog will reach up and grab a champagne flute and then disappear into the crowd and go find some other tech mogul to talk to and entice with their latest ideas on energy conversion using the kinetics of a robot to power itself.
When Beetle probably comes by Atlas again, he's going to ask Beetle, he's going to pull Beetle to him real quick and say, I need you to ask the machines, the city, whatever, to keep an eye on them. And he points out Cog. Just, if things start getting crazy, I need to know where he's at as well.
That's easier said than done. The more I do that, the more eyes that are on me. So maybe we just lay low for the minute. Anything else I can help you with, sir?
Atlas just nods and goes off and meanders off, going back to now paying attention to Cogs whenever he can, but also pointedly waiting to see what Beta does, like trying to see if there's a moment where they start moving or seem a little off.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And with that conversation coming to an end, the music strikes up. It is a very futuristic classical. There's a mix of strings and piano and these acoustic instruments that are not found in the Undercity. The damp environment would ruin the finish on a cello down there. As it's important to keep these instruments hydrated, but wet is a different situation. The piano rings up, and it's an authentic piano with you can't tell if they're real ivory keys, but they definitely look the part. But along with this kind of classical, it's all Moogs in the Undercity. Yeah, something like that. Along with this classical, there is that augment of that kind of synth wave futuristic touch. And it strikes up whatever your idea of a futuristic cyberpunk waltz would sound like. And people stand, they start to find partners, and the board of directors from the head table all stand. They come down the stairs, Alyssa and Beta with them, and come to mingle and dance with the crowd. What you do notice is wherever Alyssa goes, Beta is not far behind. And as Alyssa chooses a dance partner, Beta tries to take a step and like follow like right behind, almost like sandwiching Alyssa between her dance partner, herself, and Beta, who's like right behind. And Alyssa has that moment like, no, I'll be fine. And like Maze, you kind of hear the interactions. No, I'll be fine. I'm right here. You can like just please like a little bit of space on the sideline maybe, or we're in good hands. We're in good company. It's fine. And Beta will stand a little bit to the sideline. What would you like to do?
As the music strikes up, and I watch that interaction, I think Maze will look to Vanita and say, I'll go try to dance with Alyssa and just get a read on her. I wonder if I could spin her away from the dance floor if somebody could distract Beta.
Okay. How about we roll a figure out a person as you're dancing? So Alyssa
Yes.
moves through the dance floor and is moving through partner. You can tell that she is trained in this. She has learned this.
Mhm.
Maze, you are an AI of not infinite wisdom and knowledge, but you
Mhm.
know how to dance. You've read the manual.
Yeah,
And
they
so
like download a quick like tutorial on a couple of
Mhm.
dances, you know?
And when it comes to that spot in the song where partners are changed either by twirling them away to another partner or by turning around, Alyssa turns around and is face to face with you. Here's a question for you and for
Mhm.
Maze. In a traditional ballroom dance scenario, are you the type to put your hand on the shoulder or on the waist?
Maze on the waist.
Absolutely. Um, and you can see as Alyssa turns to you, she takes it in. She has a moment of, oh, I don't quite know where my, and before she can vocalize anything or take that moment of hesitation fully, you step in, take the lead, and roll to figure out a person. And you're going to have the chance to kind of talk and ask some questions of Alyssa here.
Awesome. Okay, and I add wit to that. Let's see.
Mhm.
I rolled a 4.
You roll a 4. Okay,
Mhm.
so that is a failure. Um, so for figure out a person on a downbeat. So firstly, whenever you fail in Thirsty Sword Lesbians, you mark an experience.
Oh,
Vanita had an experience, a failure on the train. So uh, Vanita has gotten an experience, and Maze, now you get to mark an experience as well. Um,
got it.
we also have, I'll remind you too, going forward, we do have 5 additional dice we can spend throughout the rest of the game. So feel free if you're ever like, ooh, I really want this to go through, to add a die to your roll. I'm sure 3d6 will be more than enough. But if you feel like you really just gotta send this thing through, I will leave that to your discretion.
Got it.
Um, cool. So
I think this, like them not being able to figure Alyssa out, kind of looks like them missing a step and accidentally like
mhm,
stepping on her foot, getting,
absolutely.
yeah.
For Maze, you are a hologram of a person. There is substance to you when you want there to be, but it takes focus and concentration.
Mhm.
And as you take that misstep and your foot collides with hers, um, the downbeat for figuring out a person is the target of the move figures out a damaging secret. And your
Okay.
foot collides with hers, and you go, oh shit. As you realize you weren't focused on the mass of your foot,
Yeah,
and it
it
just goes
literally
through
goes through
hers.
hers.
And she looks at you and has a moment of, oh, um, you're not real.
Darling, are any of us? And they try to continue the dance.
Um, hmm.
I
And
think even oh, sorry, go ahead.
is she is of the upper echelon. She knows how to be polite even when she is thrown off. And so you go to make a move and she follows. But you can tell that um, as you intended to lead this dance, she has taken that lead from you. And even though as she is presenting in the dainty following role of this dance, she is now in the one in control of it.
Hmm.
Um, and she goes, as you're dancing. She doesn't talk to you, but you can tell that she is not looking at you either, and her gaze falls off to the side. And if you follow her gaze, you can
Yeah,
tell that she's
absolutely.
trying to find who else is here.
Hmm. God, who would she be looking for in this moment? Could I take a I guess like when we like go into a spin, could I get like a perception or like a read of the room to see if anybody from the cast corporation is here?
Mhm. Absolutely. I'm gonna have you, unless you have a specific Hollow Goddess move, I would like you to roll to defy disaster. You are in a very tense social moment where you
Mhm.
understand that if she says something or speaks up or says something is wrong, this could
Mhm.
be it. Um,
Yeah,
so for
my
this, you're
goose
going
would
to
be
roll to
cooked.
defy disaster, and I want you to choose which one of your traits you are using to modify your defy disaster, and then explain to me how that looks.
I think I would use spirit.
Mhm.
Um, I think it looks like them. What the thing about the maze program is that it was made to always evolve to get ahead of the trainees, like critical
Mhm.
thinking, you know what I mean? To always present
Yeah.
them like with a new problem once they figured it out. So I think they kind of use like their spirit, like their hollow goddess ability to try to
Mhm.
just appear a little bit more human and a little bit more like rosy cheeks to it, a little bit of a, I don't know, like I'm not sure, or I think they would just try to, in a way, play it as like a sort of illusion in a sense,
Yeah.
and try to make themselves appear more human, more
More human.
organic.
Absolutely. Roll plus spirit.
Oh boy. Okay. 11.
11. That is a success. You do it with style. At the GM's discretion, you may also learn new information, discover a new opportunity, or gain a string on someone.
Ooh. That's great. That's honestly great. I think for the first time, Maze is always trying to fit in, but they never quite have
Mhm.
been able to do that right. Especially looking like to Beetle as a model for like what a quote normal
Normal.
organic is, or yeah. And I think this time they actually like get it on the nail. And that's something just in them kind of clicks about that. And
Mhm.
while they're happy at being able to appear more human, they know that that's only like the outside. So it's almost
Yeah.
bittersweet. They still don't quite have like that empathy that they would like to find within them.
Mhm. Um, Excellent. So that is with style. You take the step up. You put more effort and focus into it, and your hands almost have that like human heat to them, that natural body heat, and you double down on taking the lead back from Alyssa as you dance across the floor. It would be rolling for fight if it wasn't so graceful, and almost instead of in opposition with each other, you realize that she's working with you through this. And the sudden uptick in your stature and your stance as you push to be more human, you realize that her attention comes back to you, and you put the extra effort, and you're like, oh, I can blush now, blush a little bit. It'll be nice. It'll be good. It'll make me
Make like
appear
sweat
human.
droplets like appear on the
Yeah.
forehead. Hmm.
And I will give you a string because I feel like that's a fun thing to do in this moment.
Nice.
Um, you will gain a string on Alyssa, and she
Lovely.
will look at you in the blush, and the kind of effort that you're putting into this. And she'll look at you and go, "Oh, no, you don't." I've never seen an AI so lifelike, but you don't have to be anything that you're not for me. And she'll smile up at you, and continue to dance.
I think May's like blinks blankly at her and is honestly a bit surprised at having heard that. It's kind of stuns them into silence. And I think they do relax a little bit. They, started to stand up straight, got tense, and then she says that, and they're like, okay. Like I know that, we're on this mission and I'm completely understanding of that. Like I'm trying to kidnap you actually, but that's really nice of you.
Yeah.
And it's a little surprised that, this heiress is like being kind in this moment and quiet possibly. Um, I think Maze will say, you don't seem like the type of person who meets a lot of sentient AI. Why are you so calm about this?
I mean, when you spend your life programming and creating firmware, it starts to talk to you. And you realize that really there isn't too much of a difference between us and them and you. I think, you think. I mean, the only difference is that I don't have to think about how dense my hand is.
True. I think in this moment, like Maze thinks about Beetle and how they felt when they first met Beetle. And that is one of the reasons why they were immediately like wanting to befriend Beetles because like Beetle treated, like the unseen and technology as any other individual. Um, I think Maze will nod and say, what about you? What's your big what's your deal? I think Maze
What's your
will
deal?
just straight up say,
Absolutely.
like, what's your
Can
deal?
you roll me a figure out a person? Because this is definitely you trying to understand
I'm like,
her.
why is she
We all
being
see this
nice?
happening too,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, Beetle probably
100%.
sidled up to Atlas and said, if that wasn't our mark, this would be incredibly cute.
Atlas is kind of sitting there nodding with a drink, but also eyeing Beta, like just making sure, like,
Yeah, and as
danger
you're watching
close.
Beta, you're watching. It's almost like looking at a statue. As you watch most of the crowd, even like the guards that have organics, they sway and move a little bit as per the nature of living in life. There's a breath, there is a movement. Beta is stone still. The movements that you are seeing is just either she's moving across the outside of the dance area to keep in line with the heiress and Maze now, or she's moving her head to kind of take in the surroundings. But you can tell right now she's been told to stand down a little bit, and she's just watching. If you'd like, I will allow you to roll a figure out a person for Beta as well, but the effects will be a little bit lesser as you're not directly interacting. But as a guardian and a protector yourself, there is a body language that I think you'd be able to pick up on if you wanted to figure out some things.
I can do that.
Yes.
Sure. And I think I'm gonna take one of those extra D6s because what the
For sure.
personality uses what?
Mhm.
Yeah, my wit looking
Okay.
a little.
And as you roll your figure out a person, Maze, how's your figure out a person?
I got an 8.
Okay, an 8. So you can ask 2 questions, and she's going to get 1 question in return.
Okay. What are your feelings towards leading New Tech now?
I mean, it's opportunity. It's a lot of responsibility and power, but a cage is still a cage, no matter how gilded.
Do you look to break out of that cage?
Uh, do you want that to be your second question, or is this a continuation of the first?
I'll make that my second question.
Okay, for sure. And she'll kind of look and she'll go, I don't know if I could ever really break out. I mean, no matter where I go, it's still Neon City.
Hmm.
And I mean, by proxy, New Tech City.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Mhm. And she goes, and as you're dancing, she gets to ask one question in return. And she will look at you and she'll go, what do you hope to get from being here, from dancing with me?
Oh boy. How do I word it? I guess I hope to gain. I just like to do a job well done. I hope to gain some sort of understanding.
I'm sure you will. And with that, the music hits a certain beat, and the time comes, and you both step back and turn and engage with your next dance partner.
Mhm.
Atlas, what was your figure out a person results?
I got 11.
11. Nice.
Nice.
You may ask 2 questions either now or later during the dance scene.
Can I ask? So it has to be both at the same time, or it can be like one now, one.
You can ask one now, one later.
Cool. My brain's just like, if I go up and start talking to Beta, though, that's gonna be real funny. Why not? Why not? Let's go up and talk to Beta real quick.
Sure.
Let's go up and talk to her.
Sure.
And I don't know if they can see me, but I'm going to do the same thing I did with Cogs earlier, where we're both facing 2 different directions, but shoulder to shoulder. And I just simply ask, how you feeling? It's been a while.
I think they stand there and you can hear some like mechanical whirring, and you can't see their face, but Maze from the dance floor, you can see like the back of Atlas standing next to Beta, and you watch as the center ocular port on Beta's helmet kind of apertures closed and open, and certain things like are computing. You asked, how are you feeling?
How are you feeling? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. They'll kind of stand and they don't even turn to look at you. And they speak, but you don't hear it in the world around you. It's not a proper voice. They speak, and your comm link that is used to connect to like local landlines and phone lines, like that short range like radio and that data port that everyone has, in your head through that port, you hear, Tara, long time no see. I feel I'm here. Your presence is a concern. I consider that you watch yourself. And they don't even move, like sentinel stock still just keeping eyes on Alyssa.
Was this? No, this wasn't entice. No, so I can't do that.
Yeah, this is figure out a person. I mean, if you want to roll an entice.
I want to see if I'm a roll entice with them saying that. What do I exactly want to do? Yeah, I'm gonna try rolling entice. Do what is that? Heart?
Plus heart.
I ain't got nothing in heart. I'm gonna take another dice.
Okay. That is the second dice used.
6, 12. 6, 12 plus 14. There we go. Brain was like, math?
Math? 14. That is, you gain a string on them and they choose one. So you get a string on beta. What does your entice look like? Is it a physical motion? Is it a emotional motion? Like, is it a statement? Is it charm? What does that look like for Atlas?
I think for Atlas, it's communing back to them, kind of do like mirroring their movement of not saying anything, not showing any kind of physical movement, but speaking back to him saying, I've missed you. And you look good like this. Let's catch up sometime before moving off.
Yeah, I think in that moment, you, Maze, and the other people in the room, you can see it. Atlas, you're not looking at the front of them, but you see the ocular port kind of aperture again, slowly, almost like halfway for a little bit, and then up, and then back to half, and then up again. And you notice that like the stock still frame kind of breaks for a second, and they kind of go to like, they have that instinct of like, huh? And then they're like, I'm back. I have to watch. I have to defend. I have to watch. And that is going to be them kind of getting a little flustered and awkward, as far as that character can get flustered and awkward, as they had that moment of like breaking character and breaking that defender stance for a second. Okay.
Keep that one last question in my back pocket for later.
Absolutely. And then we are coming to the close of the dance portion. Is there anything that Vanita or Beetle want to do?
Beetle would have came up to Vanita, just like kind of passing information, and I'm like, Atlas seems to know 2 people here, and like, let's just keep an eye on Atlas and just make sure that he's not going to do anything to foul our exit, you know?
I hear ya. I've seen what happens when Atlas gets emotionally compromised. Don't worry. I know what happens. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm sure he'd say the same of me.
Really, like, can't take him anywhere, to restaurants, to nothing. He knows someone everywhere.
Yeah, he's a real man about town, that one. Which is a good thing most of the time. Most of the time. Unless it's someone looking to settle a score, in which case that's a different problem. But
Yeah.
and Vanita looks over to like where Maze and Alyssa were. It's like, he's just doing a good job getting close to the mark.
Yeah.
He might-
I'm gonna go over there and see what she found out, see if there's any how hard this is gonna be when things go down.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep my head low for the time being. I don't want any of those Full Metal bigwigs seeing me, just in case. You never know.
And Vanita, I will say too, this is a very high pressure environment for you. As such, playing the beast, are you attempting to fit in, or are you not necessarily or are you fitting in, or are you being yourself?
She's definitely kind of being herself. She's like on the end of a very short tether. Trying to fit in, and like this is taking all of her willpower and such, and it's just it's a lot, and it'll take very little for her to maybe snap a bit, honestly.
Absolutely.
Especially then if you add what happened with the train. So you know,
you're already heated. There's a lot of social pressure. I'm going to let you choose. Either you can keep your beast, your feral meter where it is, and you'll have to find a way to be yourself in this stifling environment that might possibly compromise the situation, or you can take the feral meter a tick down and force yourself to fit in.
I'm going to keep it the same. And the way that Vanita is going to keep that level is through kind of her expression specifically, because that's one of the two ways. It is sort of through her appearance a little bit, but it's also like physical appearance, but also her actions. So especially while this is going, while the kind of dancing is going on, and Beetle's now gone to go talk to Maze, Vanita is going to make the most of the music and dance rather outlandishly, not very dignified, really not dignified at all, and just instead of looking for a partner or anything, she's going to kind of
dance on her own.
Yeah, dance on her own for a start.
Absolutely.
And then she's gonna say she's probably gonna be dancing to something that's completely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say she's gonna be bloody moshing, but that's probably going a little far for classical music.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um. Hmm. I love rolling dice. I love finding reasons to roll dice. Do we think that? Um. Ooh. I would like you to defy disaster as well.
Okay.
And the stakes here are, of course, either creating a fool of yourself and drawing too much attention and jeopardizing the mission, or being able to do this, keep your feral, and move forward.
Okay. Which plus are we going with?
You choose your favorite one and tell me why it works.
I'm going to say plus daring because
Absolutely.
this is definitely a display of power and endurance, and she honestly has to have the cojones to to dance like this in a bunch of essentially a bunch of nobles. So
Hell yeah.
that is a 10.
That is a 10.
Yeah.
Excellent. You do it with style. What does that look like? Tell me, like, what is this crazy move that you pull off that somehow is like you push past that, like, oh my god, what is she doing? To like people are like, oh, this is performance. Like you've switched from like, God, look at this, like, she doesn't belong here, to like, oh,
So
this is the
because
next thing. This is performance art.
because it's classic, kind of like techno classical,
Hmm.
instead of like going full blown sort of mosh pit, she starts air violining. She starts air violining, and she's not like exactly twirling, but she is definitely moving quickly and also to a point kind of a little bit gracefully even as she's spinning, just eyes closed and just feeling the just like kind of Beetle feels the sounds of the city. She's feeling the sounds of kind of the environment around her, the music especially, and she's just kind of playing along and uh, at the she's just twirling, stomping a few steps forward. There's even a flip, a kind of a flip forward at one point, and she definitely ends it with a traditional kind of slide to her knees as the music comes to an end.
Excellent. So you get to choose to either learn new information, discover a new opportunity, or gain a string on someone.
I'd like to discover a new opportunity.
Absolutely. Um, how about you tell me what this opportunity is? What opportunity have you created for yourself and your group?
Um, I would say that is definitely a distraction of sorts. Like you said, originally it was kind of a, oh, what the heck is she doing?
Yeah.
And now and then suddenly it was like, oh, this is good. And suddenly, that kind of ramps up and she's getting attention. So it's all eyes on her right now. And that means that might even distract Beta a little bit.
Yeah.
For the others to take advantage of while all these folks are distracted.
Absolutely. So we will say that we're going to give a forward to whatever the next roll is. So a forward is a really standard Powered by the Apocalypse move, in which the next person to make a roll is going to add an extra +1 to that roll. As the crowd is eating it up. One of the musicians, one of the fiddlists on stage, fiddlers on stage, sees it, connects it, and goes, "Actually, that's rad. Hold on." And you can tell that, like, even the band is like, "Yeah, okay, let's hit this." Okay, and you can watch as like creatives are recognizing a creative, and they're picking up what you're putting down, and they're ramping up too. They have classic, like, techno classical instruments. There is still that vibe to it, but the pace picks up, and it goes from like, what is she doing? This is not that at all, to like, oh no, this is that. Okay. They like transition out of that waltz pace to like a more upbeat jig. So from like that 3/4 time to 2/6/8 time for those of you who are music nerds. Kind of like get into that like jig a little bit. It almost hits going from techno classical to almost like that techno folk kind of deal, where like there's that barn dance type element to it. Only a letter away from Cyber Diddler. Thank you so much, Demon Stray. I saw that. And everything kind of picks up, and the room is distracted. I will say, going forward, either the dance scene or the next one, there's going to be a +1 as everyone is kind of in good spirits or distracted by this performance. Excellent. And unless somebody has an immediate, this is the thing I'd like to do in this exact moment. Excellent. The dance slows, it resolves. Everyone is enjoying their time. Oh, we gotta everyone hydrate. Drink if you drink. Everyone returns to their seats. The CEO of New Tech stands up at the head table, clinks his fork on the rim of his glass, and for such a delicate action, the room fills with that like ding 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 ding, and it echoes off the walls and is almost amplified. Sorry, amplified. You know, we make words here, and I'll say Beetle and Atlas, since you're more, and Maze, since you're all more in tune with kind of the song of the city. Beetle, the more so. You notice that as he like taps his fork on the glass, that waving motion of the song of the city, the vibration of the glass moves with it, and it's almost as each voice, each entity within the wires within the city itself rings, whether it wants to or not. You can't quite tell. You're unsure if they're ringing along because they want to be, or if they're ringing along because it has to be. And that is Beetle specifically that gets that like, I don't know. But Maze and Atlas, you can feel that flow in that moment as the sound washes over the room. And the CEO starts his speech. We are gathered here today to celebrate the blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to roleplay a whole CEO tech speech. I do not, I as a dungeon master, do not care what he's talking about.
I have a question. During his speech, though, where is Allison and Beta at?
So, you watch as they sit back up at the table, and then you see Beta kind of lean down to Allison, and you can't hear what they say, but they definitely exchange some interaction. And then Beta stands back up. Allison politely scoots her chair back, kind of gives her father a little bow, and then tutters off to the side to some back room. The information that you had earlier that Beta is probably going to need to charge at some point ticks that this is probably that time that they're kind of ducking out during this speech to go and recharge. And everyone is fairly intently focused on the CEO's speech.
We all have short range radios basically in our heads. Can I send like a message out to everyone to basically say, our window is open? Are we moving?
Seems as good as time as any.
I'm ready when y'all are.
Yep, let's do it.
And so,
Excellent.
wait, sorry. So did Alyssa go with Beta, or did
Yes,
Alyssa?
They both
Okay.
went. You have a feeling like watching them leave and watching the slight interaction. either she also needed something done at that time and it was a convenient time for the both of them, or much like how Beta is not allowed to leave Alyssa's side, Alyssa is not to be without Beta in some capacity. So wherever one goes, the other must go as well.
Hmm. Okay.
I think I sent
Okay.
an. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think Atlas will send another message out saying, whatever happens, seems like you, Maze, it seems like you and Allison have connected. I think it's better if you lead this versus anyone else here.
I think Maze they'll nod and they'll say, okay, I can lead it. And then they'll also just share like the conversation. They'll be like, oh,
Mhm.
also, by the way, she knows I'm a sentient AI. Just like casually drops that.
Oh, she's okay with it?
She's okay with it. She actually gave me the same vibe of like when we first met. She just said that,
Mhm.
technology and organic beings all think and we're all the same. And considers her new position a cage, a gilded cage.
Oh, conflicted. Corbo, but she seems nice.
I know. If she wasn't Corpo, I'd even say I was smitten. But I just can't get past that.
Don't think it's a good idea for you to be intermingling with actual human beings, considering what you are as well.
No, maybe it isn't. But I'm trying to. I want to learn how to find that. I don't know that. What is the word? I have such a detachment to the things that you all, I guess, would find meaningful or relate to. I kind of want to try to find that. That's the one code I haven't been able to crack.
Mhm. This is a very sweet scene. And I would like to push for one of you to make an emotional support roll.
I would like to.
Ooh.
This is a recovery move. So throughout the game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, you don't have hit points, you don't have health, and you don't get knocked out. When things go wrong, you gain conditions. Conditions that are feelings, things like frightened, things like guilty, hopeless, and insecure. The only way to heal these conditions is through emotional support, supporting each other, talking to each other. It's a very group hug game in that sense, and it's something that I really like about the system. So emotional support is when you offer someone support in a way that could be meaningful to them. Roll plus heart or plus spirit, plus 3 more if you spend a string on them. And if they open up to you, they choose one, and you either choose one or take a string on them. If they open up to you, they can choose one. Mark clear a condition, mark an XP, plus 1 forward, or gain insight from the GM about an obstacle facing one of you.
Yeah, I would like to make a roll. So
Absolutely.
I will roll plus spirit. I will spend a link. So that will bring it up to a link. I'm talking like it's Girl by Moonlight, a string. And that will bring that up to 12. So Beta will say, everyone thinks machines are cold and calculating, but I think you and a lot of other things are capable of like a feeling of like exploring love and what it means. And I don't think any of that stuff is exclusive to us, to humans. Like, And
I think
go ahead.
I think just at that moment, a genuine like smile just spreads across Maze's face, and they'll
Absolutely.
say, I feel like I'm learning that too. I think I'm coming to realize y'all know, friendship is magic, right? But I'm coming to realize that the the need I feel like to defend you all and protect you all and just want to be by your side. I think that's more than just a bug in my code. I think that's something.
Mhm.
I like bump shoulders with Beetle, like just finding that camaraderie with her in this moment.
Yeah. And Beetle, if you wouldn't mind rolling for the emotional support since you started the conversation and got Maze to open up.
I'm sorry.
Did you
Oh,
roll for the?
I did, and I spent a link, so that's 12 total.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. I missed that. I was reading something.
It's okay.
All the things to keep track of as a DM.
Yeah.
So yeah, they open up to you and they choose one, and you either choose one as well or take a string. So Maze, you can choose to clear a condition, mark XP, gain +1 forward, or gain insight from the GM about an obstacle one of you is facing. And likewise for Beetle, but you have the extra choice of choosing to take a string on Maze.
What do you want to do, Beetle?
I think so like they choose one and you choose either one. I think for now probably taking +1 forward. Like
Excellent. Yeah,
is the
Beetle,
way to
mark it
go.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get to choose one from this list. I think I'll gain insight from the GM about an obstacle facing us.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
can we get
It's-
Beta and Alyssa apart?
How can we get Beta and Alyssa? Okay, so with emotional support, we are gaining insight on an obstacle facing one of you. So it would be an obstacle that Maze is specifically facing or an obstacle that Beetle is facing.
Then I'll say specifically how Maze can get Alyssa away from all the guards. Or maybe is there like a place I could maybe try to usher her to in a sense? I don't know.
Okay. I'll say that one of the obstacles you are facing is getting Alyssa away from Beta. I think one of the insights that you're gaining from like connecting with Alyssa and now connecting with Beetle is you're seeing that same kindness, and they share that. And one of the things that comes to your mind is you wonder if Alyssa has a similar relationship with Beta as Beetle does with you. That like, oh, is Alyssa Beta's human touch mark in the same way that is, and that pings in your mind of like, oh, maybe that's something I could use.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an insight. Maybe that's
I think Maze also considers
around.
that the duos are a lot more alike because I know she's a programmer, but to say that machines think was just really interesting. Can she also like commune with tech or with the city? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. And we're gonna take a quick moment. I'm gonna just ask the party really quick here. We got about 30 minutes left of stream time. Do we want to take a little 5 and come back, or do we want to just push the 30 and then put a tune in next time since we have a session 2 to plan out?
We do have a session 2 to plan out. Um, I wouldn't mind pushing the rest towards our session too, if you all would be comfortable with that, honestly.
I can push
How do
through.
y'all feel?
Yeah. Push the
I
30
can do
and
either.
hmm
okay.
I got some
That's what we'll
steam
do
left
then.
in me.
Okay, we'll
That
push the
sounds good to
30
me.
and then hopefully find a fun little cliffhanger to leave on.
Mhm.
As long as I get to scrap with Beta, that my brain
Oh,
says
I'm sure you will
scrap.
get your opportunity. So, the speech is happening, and I'm gonna say, you all need to find a way into the back area. Beetle, this is easy for you. You're a caterer, but how do we get your friends in?
That's a good question. So I have an ability called
Mm-hmm.
Astral Dance,
Mm-hmm.
and I can dance across the boundary into the realm beyond. If I roll well enough, I can move a small numbers of others who dance with you to arrive at a distant destination of your choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to dance the party into the back room?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have to roll for that? I don't
I
have your
do.
playbook open at the moment.
I do have to roll. I have to roll plus grace. So
Mm-hmm.
Beetle's gonna come around and just like gather you. She has set down the tray and the towel. The bow tie has come undone. She comes and just like takes you, like takes Maze in like her arm and like takes Atlas in the other and finds Vanita and says, all right, and we'll roll for grace. And I'm
Don't
gonna
forget
take
you got those dice.
I'm gonna take an extra die as well.
Yep.
That's 8, 9, 10. Okay, I got 11. So
11 is good. Okay, you and a small number of others who dance with you arrive at a distant destination of your choice. If you'd like, I can just have you dance right into the room where Beta and Alyssa are.
yeah, Beetle's gonna say this is probably gonna feel a little weird for you, and as you feel, your body becomes discorporeal. Maze is probably used to this. This is not unusual for her, but the rest of you, like you don't feel the somatic part of your body anymore as you become digital for just a moment, and then you
Mhm.
are reconnected back in a space.
Ooh, Atlas did
Absolutely.
not like that at all because it's the feeling of being plugged back into a
Yeah.
new body.
Yeah, so you do a little dance, you all join hands and you all have a moment of dance with each other. I'll say that you find like a restroom to meet up in, so you're not just like out in the dining room
Yeah,
where everyone can see
that
you,
makes sense.
because that would be the most logical thing to do. You take a moment, you take a breath, and you and as you all kind of communally take that deep breath together and do that dance, you take, a step, a step, a step, a step, 2, 3, 4, and suddenly your foot hits a different ground where the bathroom that you all met up was tile. Your foot suddenly hits hardwood as you transition from one space to the other. And as you move through the unseen and through this mirror world, all of you can hear the chittering and the chattering of thousands of little voices ebbing and flowing through the space. Watching, seeing, listening, moving.
Hey, friends.
As you, hi, Beetle, yay. And as the voices die down, your foot hits hardwood, and you stand in this kind of back green room. The windows are a little bit smaller, but large cloth curtains kind of drape the back wall. The lighting is a little bit darker. The lamp is replaced. It's not the overhead light that has been turned on. There is a series of smaller lights that have been turned on. Because big light energy bad. Ugh, hate big light. And in it's opulently decorated. There's a fairly nice chaise lounge and a couch, and it seems to be a refrigerator of some sort that holds a collection of drinks. And standing at one of the windows looking out over the city is Alyssa, sorry. And in a very large 7-8 foot tall kind of tube structure, Beta is standing inside this kind of glass tube that is kind of pulsing with a faint green light, and seems to be in not necessarily stasis, as they do notice your entry, but isn't in fully operational status at the moment. But they see, you notice that they do clock you, and they do immediately have that reaction of like going to reach for a sword. And Alyssa is standing there looking out the window, and she doesn't turn to look back at you, and she goes, "Ah, I was wondering when you would show up. Hi,
Atlas
nice
kind
to
of
see you again." And she kind of like looks over at Maze and gives a little head nod before turning back to the window.
Beetle can't help herself, and sorry.
So go ahead.
I was like, Beetle can't help herself, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so cute."
Yeah, and like in this lower lighting, you notice that she's wearing this very nice white dress. New Tech is very white, very clean white and grays. That like kind of plexi finish on a really like white reflective plexi finish on a metal chassis robot. And her dress reflects this. It is this nice, sleek white with very intricate embroidering all across the top that leads to this very puffy, moving skirt. And in this low light, it almost takes on more of like a orangey cream color, as it catches the like some little beads and pieces of the embroidering that are a little bit denser pick up on the small green pulses of the charging tube that Beta is in. Mm-hmm.
You knew what our objective is?
I mean, yeah, it's not every day that a sentient AI, a man who switches bodies, and I mean, one of you can move through something. That's a lot. And you're here, and I'm here. So obviously I'm involved in this somehow.
Okay. Absolutely fair. Maybe like looks around like anybody else want to take point.
Like, Vanita shakes her head. It's like she's enamored with the three of you. I'm
I have the feeling that I owe Maze a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that this is going to either be rough or it's going to be a little gentle. Either way.
Alyssa,
eh,
we actually need you to come with us. Is that possible?
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm all good to go. I mean, this puff skirt is not just for being a puff skirt. And she'll like kind of peel back like an outer layer, and inside you can see there's like multiple different like pouches and bags stitched into the puff skirt.
Love it.
That are like
Utility puff
they're
skirt.
yeah, exactly. Like there are pouches and bags, and you know, like some looking at it, you're like, oh, that's probably full of like some cloth material, maybe an extra shade, like set of clothing. There's like some that are, you know, you're like, oh, that might look like a wallet shape. Like it's very much like, oh yeah, she's got a whole bunch of stuff on her and ready to go.
Oh, she packed.
Yeah.
Can I?
And
I don't know if I can do this. Sorry, you were still talking. Sorry.
yeah, no, you're good. And you're like noticing too, Beta from the charging pod is getting more and more impatient. They're starting to kind of break a little bit the like stone defender facade, as they're starting to like get antsy and having to stand still, and having to be separate from this for a little bit.
Hmm.
I think Atlas is gonna say out loud, were you the one that put the request in?
Guilty as charged.
The little Maze is like dinner, pork belly, sushi, ramen, in that order.
I'll do the ramen. It's the cheapest thing. You two deal with the more expensive things.
I'll take the dang sushi.
Beetle's already on DoorDash. Like, we're gonna need to eat when we get back home. I mean,
order now.
Get the little Tamagotchi like.
Bring it to you. Yeah. Subscribe now.
Sorry.
Delivery Plus.
Maze like not like points to Beta and is like, and your friend?
Yeah, she didn't quite know. Sorry. And she like looks over at the tube and is like, yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't have risked, anyone else finding out. Dad would not have let this fly, but like, I can't be here anymore. God.
Why do you want to run away again? Like, explain. Start beginning, middle, and bullet point version. Yeah. Just bullet point.
I just had a thought. Can I say we got our swords as we danced through, because it was all dancing? So.
Absolutely. As you dance through, whether that it is part of the dance for you that you grab your sword and replace it on your body, or if it just appears by your side as you step through, that is up to you. What you would like to do with that. But yes, you can all have your swords in this moment. I mean, okay. One, it is extremely difficult being the smartest person in a room when nobody fucking listens to you. Two, have you seen this place? Like, oh my God, I can't say anything at any time. Everyone up here looks the same, dresses the same, thinks the same. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. And don't even get me started on the whole like marriage thing and the suitors. Like, I don't like. Ugh.
Honestly, I saw the list and
right, like
I don't know
like
what you're
sure.
thinking with that list.
I mean,
he wants to secure the future of the company and make sure that we have tons of kids and blah 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 blah. But like, I don't even like guys. So like, but like everyone up here does. It's the thing.
So weird.
Well, not like everyone likes guys. That'd actually be a little bit more fun. But like,
also, if he's gonna
like, there are expectations.
Also, all the dudes he picked for you, he could have chose better. And also, kids in all this, just no, just
right.
No.
It is gonk. It is crazy. Did I use the street slang right? Was that right?
Oh no!
We'll work on it.
Yeah, just don't try. It'll come naturally. Okay.
The best thing you could do is shut up, don't talk.
Right.
Just
okay.
And your friend, are we gonna have to deal with that, or she come in? What are we doing with her?
I think
she
Beta should come with us.
Done charging in just and and the doors open, and it is well, darn it. The one time I'm like, actually, I am gonna roll a die really quick. I don't have one on me. I normally have a bag of them around, but
I'm happy to
that's
roll a
okay.
die for you if you want.
No. I'm gonna ask you a question instead. Who is the furthest forward in the room?
I think Maze would have been taking point since that is what Atlas advised.
Okay.
They're trying to stick to the plan.
Mhm.
So they went in with the mind of, yeah, like getting this job done, but it's turning out a lot better than I thought.
Absolutely.
I think Atlas will be right
Um,
behind Maze because during this whole conversation, he's just like, what? No, just okay, cool. So bullshit. That objective got. We need to go.
So the moment those doors open, there's a little bit of that like fog steam kind of effect that comes out. There's a little like bing, 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 charging, done. You know. And the minute those doors are out of the way, it is like lightning. Beta has launched herself across the room and has drawn sword. And Maze, I want you to tell me how do you react to an immediate, almost inhuman speed attack?
So, this is awesome. I have a skill called Sharp with Numbers, and
Yeah.
it says my skill with the blade flows not from raw strength, but from my mastery of the tactical field before me. I can roll plus spirit to fight instead of daring, and that same mastery allows me to triangulate my position with perfect precision, so I always know where I am. So I think they, and it's just like time almost slows for a second. You know,
Mhm.
the doors like hiss open and like the steam is coming out. And I think at that moment, that's when they're like, oh, I need to readjust. And so they like, it's almost their sword manifests in a way
Yeah.
where
Give us the
it's
sword. Show us the
like
sword.
it's like bits of code that are being pulled from the air itself
Mhm.
and like but it's like glitched out, and it's almost like they're pulling it like from their chest, and the staff part of it is extremely
Right.
long, and so they're just stretching it out, and you know it's coming out of very like fusion like honestly it's coming out, it's like this
Yeah.
collection of pixelated code, but it's taking on the shape of like a great axe. And when they whip
Ooh.
it out finally, like stomp it on the ground, it almost like an anime, like magical girl, like sparkle, like that like pops up from it.
Mhm.
It has like this holographic, like iridescent handle to it, and the blade is like a cracked CD.
Love
Um,
that. Oh my god, that's so cool.
yeah, and so they see her coming and they whip it out and they just kind of hold it to defend themselves.
Mhm.
And I think Maze is like, really, what's your deal?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna roll fight with spirit for you.
Mhm.
Hence
Can I
the
also try to
ability.
figure out can I try to figure out beta during this fight?
Mhm. So
Okay.
part of the fight move, it's actually really fun. When you fight in Thirsty Sword Lesbians, you are not attempting to harm each other.
Mhm.
It is very much dipping into the stereotype of the homoerotic sword fight, where
Mhm.
it is banter, it is play, it is pushing and pulling this social dynamic through sword play.
Mhm.
So when you fight, you can roll with daring or grace, or if you have a special move or condition in your playbook, you can roll a different stat, like the Hollow Goddess playbook. Maze is able to roll with spirit. On a 10 plus, you choose 3 and your opponent chooses 1 to apply to you in response. On a 7 to 9, you choose 2 and your opponent chooses 1. And the options are flirt with or provoke your opponent to gain a string on them. Through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. Create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. Or take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position. The other thing too is I think there are rules for figuring somebody out during a sword play.
I have search engine optimization. So when I
Mhm.
figure out a person during a physical conflict, I can ask an additional question from a short list.
Yep, absolutely. Let me just find that really quick because I don't remember what the rule is. But yes, absolutely. So make your roll.
Yes, I
Um,
rolled a 9.
Excellent. 9 will give you a mix success. So you get to choose 2 and your opponent chooses 1.
I would. I think in this moment, Maze will flirt, and they're like, "If you wanted to dance, you could have just asked me."
Woo! Absolutely. So you can take a string on Beta.
Nice. And I get to choose another one.
Yes.
Let's see these conditions. I'd like to. No, I think I want to create an opportunity for my allies, like a distraction for them.
Absolutely.
And
I will say, yeah,
Mhm.
go for it.
Oh, I for my search engine optimization, the question I want to ask
hmm
is who do you hate the most?
Ooh. Um, you ask that, but how does that look when you're in the middle of a fight?
I think it's like Maze, blocks that like initial
Mhm.
blow. They make like the dance comment. I think for moments like these like lightning fast, like Beta trying to find an opening and Maze is just like on the defense with it. And that goes on to for what looks like a dance, in my opinion. Like even involuntarily, they're kind of like just dancing around the room 1 second. And they're both very much they're both more tech than organic. So they're moving really
Mm.
fast. One moment you blink, like they're in like the
Yeah.
upper right hand of the room. The next moment you blink, they're like partially like kind of in the air a little bit.
Mhm.
Like the dress is like flowing dramatically. And then
Absolutely.
the next I think at this moment they find themselves like standing off with Beta. I don't think
Mhm.
either of them really needs to breathe, but I think they both at this time looks a little like weary. They're like,
Mhm.
and they're saying, um, this all of this needs to come down. Even someone like Alyssa sees that you don't hate the powers that have been put in place for our kind. Who do you hate the most?
Who do you hate the most? Yeah. To the rest of the party too, and you can tell me if this is wrong, Maze, but I like to imagine that like when we're getting those like moments of like impact, 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 and that like almost very anime type style where it's like blur, impact, blur, impact, or blur, impact. But those blur moments from Maze's side, where Beta is very like physical, you can see the like motion lines and you can follow it, you can track it barely, but you can track it. With Maze, is it more of a like a visual glitch type effect where you're
Definitely,
like
yeah.
in one spot and then like and like the lines
Like
buzz
glitch
and then you're in a different
exactly.
spot?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Ugh, delicious. Um, and she takes a moment and she's on par with you and meeting your gaze and um um your stance, and she doesn't answer with words, but she takes it, and then she takes a moment. I can see that she kind of glances somewhere in between, like looking almost through the walls towards where the head table is, and glancing back to Alyssa as well. And you get this kind of feeling of there isn't a specific I hate this person the most or this system the most. It's I hate the system, and I hate you for making me see that it's broken.
Mm.
It's one of those like I see it, I understand it's bad, but I have this like very complex feelings around like no, if I can make this not or behave differently, it can be fine again. And I hate you for making me see it differently because now I have to deal with the fact that I see it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a downright like hatred to the core of being hatred, but like a realization and the fuck you for making me question my actions,
Mhm.
for making me question the system, for making me see things in a different light that I hadn't before, and filling me with doubt.
Can I
Love
add
that.
on to that? Because I think I
Yeah.
have a string on beta, don't I?
You have a string, and you do have a second question to ask from your earlier scene.
I'm gonna use what is this? I think it's influence of a string.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And one of the things I could do is find out what it will take to get them to do what you want.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to combine that with the question from earlier that I was
Mhm.
keeping in my back pocket. And I'm just simply going to stand there as I'm watching this, like keeping track with them and say, Beta, do you care about this woman, or do you care about the people who made you what you are? You used to be the
Ooh.
best of the best, and now look at you. Are you a monster, or are you a person?
Mm.
Mm. It radiates out through the room, but not in a vocal stimulus. In the same way that Beta addressed you before, and anytime Beta speaks to any of you, it doesn't come vocally. It comes through the data port. It comes through like your audio processing centers
Mhm.
directly into your brain, and you hear the like tension, almost like a pipe that's too full and is creaking.
You're an edge runner. You know you're an edge runner. You were the best
Mhm.
of the best. Come on.
And are you a person or are you a monster? And she's still in conflict and combat with Maze, and they're still trading blows as this is happening. And she goes, when you push and you push and you're better and you're better and you improve. I was a person. I am not. I'm better.
Mm.
Um, and what was the second part? So the question was, are you a person or are you a monster?
Mhm.
Um, and the first part was, what will it take for them to do what you want? Correct.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or in some cases, for NPC, spinning the strings means they will
They'll
simply
simply
agree.
agree. Yeah. Um, and they stop in their tracks. Maze. It goes from like clash, 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 tip, parry, evade, step, step. It's this very complicated dance that you're sharing. And as you go in for another strike and you're expecting like the blade to be there to parry, she's not there at all. Beta is standing back probably 5 to 10 feet away from where you are, Maze, and where your party is, and about 2 or 3 feet in front of Allison. Um, And she goes, fine. Fine. She's not going alone. My job, my duty is to keep her safe. And you can feel her struggling with the complexities of this is the job that I have and what I was hired for, and the professionalism of betraying the person who gave it to her, but following also the directive of like, this is what keeping her safe is right now. It is going with.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, she's tentatively standing by. Since we've used a string. But I swear, Atlas, one wrong move.
Are you gonna finish that sentence, or is like one wrong move like we get ice cream, we get cake? Like, I need complete sentences here. Like, I know you're more machine, so I know
You're rambling, and as you're rambling, she kind of lifts her arm up, and you can see like a small cybernetic hatch on the arm pops open, and a dagger is tossed from it, and it slices right like past your ear into the wall behind you.
He just claps his hands like, there we go. Now we're using our words. There we go. You finish your sentences, because God.
May's like, Atlas.
What? She needs to finish her sentences. I thought we were all like,
She's with us now.
We've been on enough jobs that you should know a thinly veiled threat by now.
He knows it. He just can't help himself.
Anyway, we can all go. We can all go together. I have just one question. How do you feel about just being constantly slightly damp?
Who are you asking?
Alyssa and Beta.
And Beta. Beta just has like, Beta is just standing there, and she kind of looks at you. With the like, really? like she's wearing a helmet, you can't see her face, but you get the like.
We completely get the expression.
I'm just saying it's drier up here than it is down there. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm fine with it. Damp sounds interesting. And if I'm being honest, my hair gets really curly when it's damp, so I'm really excited to see how that looks.
Remember this way you feel about being damp right now, and just hold it close, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. So, Beta, are we good? We're leaving? Come on. And you can see like Beta has the same like like fine. And due to the expenditure of a string, and being called out on used to be the best, edge runner, what happened, and the devotion to Alyssa and following Alyssa's wants, she'll agree to come with. And we are right on time.
We are.
So we will have the scene end there, as you all, Alyssa leads you to like a back exit that no one else is aware of. They're like the upper towers and stuff. You've heard that they're full of secret exits and tunnels and everything else that in case of emergencies, when you have so much money, you kind of become a target for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you tug your way back down to the Undercity, using a series of back tunnels, things like that. Somewhere along the
Definitely
way,
ditching the upper city clothes like along the
Yeah.
way.
Alyssa does have that moment where she like pulls like a change of clothes out of one of her dress pouches. And it's just like a pair of they're like ripped jeans, but they're not naturally ripped. They're like designer ripped, you know? like they're too clean to be crust pants, but they're
Mhm.
trying so hard. And she kind of puts on this um cropped tank top sort of deal, and is trying to embrace as much of that I'm a regular Undercity person as she can. She's a little awkward about it. It's kind of
Mhm.
endearing in a way. The you know what, kid, like express yourself, be yourself.
It's like
Do
Atlas's
what's
eyes
right.
just twitching as she's doing this because it's like it's giving that
Um,
feeling of you're rich and you're trying to fit in. I'm glad. Same time, please stop. You're trying so hard. Please.
I mean, look, it was
We definitely
either
have a
this
shopping montage.
or something actually ridiculously pristine. Like you reach a certain level, like I'm not allowed to go too far down the tower normally. So you reach like a certain level, and like this is the closest to like street clothes you get.
Hmm.
Beetle, that one's yours. You Beetle, Vanita, one of you just nope. Mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I'm
Why?
already dealing with like one teenager looking after one teenager. I can't. I don't have the mental capacity to deal with the second one right now.
I just one of you two figure that one out. Just no.
Beetle's a great tutor for how to be human.
Absolutely.
That's
And
not even being human.
you transit back down to Heaven's Last. Mouse is waiting there for you, but she's like, "Yep, job's done. Client will pay you directly. I don't have to be here except to collect my cut. So, I'll grab that and be on my way." And you can see, Alyssa kind of shells out that portion to her, has the rest of it ready and available for you. And you receive nice bags of shiny eddies. And she kind of like hops over to Beta and is like, "Come on, like I changed my clothes. You can come on, take the helmet off, please."
Drop some of the chrome as well. It's a bit much for down here. Like you scaring people.
And through your audio ports, you hear fine. And she like clicks a button on the side of the helmet, and like the steam and like the release of the helmet, and she takes it off and she puts it to the side. And Beta is kind of shakes out her hair. It falls to about kind of mid chest length. It is straight and brown. She's got very delicate features. You can see that her eyes are not organic anymore. In fact, they seem to be a fairly outdated chrome implant. So they don't look like normal eyes either. They've got, if you've seen Ghost in the Shell, she's got like the Batu like camera implants.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a very, very gorgeous woman. And Alyssa kind of like dances a little bit and then goes, Beta, come here. And he goes, "What?" And she kind of like leans down to listen to the very short Allison. Allison kind of jumps up and gives her a peck on the forehead and goes, "Told you it would be fine."
Cute.
And what are the final notes from the players as we kind of close off this job done scene? Drink. We got hit with a hydrate.
The rest of us already did it.
Yeah.
I am behind. I'm never good at hydrating on time. Usually I run out. I just kind of drink and then I run out and then people redeem hydrates and I'm like, my glass is empty. But as
I'm on,
we
like,
kind of
my
have
last drink.
our end scene, any last notes from any of the characters about like what they're doing, how they're feeling, anything like that?
I think Atlas is gonna go up to Beta and kind of like, it's like this back knuckle like tap on them, like, come on, like, I'll get you a drink, catch up, something, teach you how to be less chrome and more. He kind of gestures to everyone here, like, relaxed. God, you are never this tense. Yeah, just come on, come on.
Absolutely.
Beetle is like, just, I think they're gonna be good friends. It's gonna be hard for them, but I think it's good that we have more friends.
Mhm.
Benita's gonna look at Beta and be like, how long is it until that delivery service of yours gets here with the first round of Maze's food?
I was just thinking the same thing because I'm starving.
Pulls out the phone, like, or the like whatever the device is, and just
Yeah.
should be approaching now.
Yeah. And sure enough, your friend who you had borrowed the catering outfit from is the one who delivers the food.
Nice.
Because, like, look, a day off is great. That just means I can do something else and make additional money, which we all need
Mhm.
desperately. So
That's 100% what Beetle uses the unseen for. It's like, I'm gonna pay for it. It's gonna be fine, but I need you to get like my friends to pick up the order. They need the
Yeah.
money.
yeah, it's funny. It's like if any of you have played Doki Doki Literature Club, um, the delivery person goes to select a different order, and then all the orders are replaced with the one that Beetle put. And they're like,
Mhm.
oh. Look, we're friends, but like, why does it have to be so creepy every time?
I don't pick it. It's
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Maze is just saddled up with everyone. They have a drink with Atlas and Beta and get some more of that Beta lore, and they share a meal with Vanita and Beetle, even though they definitely can't digest it, and Alyssa. And I think they just feel great about the night's events.
Absolutely. And as we kind of do the classic zoom out from Heaven's Last,
Mhm.
we see the quiet, kind of rubbled neighborhood around Heaven's Last. There are people kind of standing in front of the bar with their various vehicles, kind of chatting, taking a step outside for some fresh air, or as fresh as it gets down here. And we continue to zoom out, and we hear the click of a radio, as the camera starts to follow a car as it's leaving Heaven's Last. And in the car, there is a driver, and there is a partitioned black glass between the driver and the back seat. And the radio clicks, and a voice goes, "Nah, I got eyes on them. They're down here in Heaven's Last. Yeah, for sure. Waiting further instructions." And that is the to be continued.
Now, who the hell is that?
Good question. Find out next time. Since we wanted a next time. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight for Thirsty Sword Lesbians Jewel Heist. I have been your wonderful DM, Neon. Thank you to Logomancy for hosting the wonderful game tonight. Thank you to Pride Revolution for getting all of these wonderful creators together and giving us the chance to sit down and play and raise money for the Trans Empowerment Project. Thank you to the Trans Empowerment Project for doing the amazing work that you guys do. Big fan. You know, I'm across the northern border, so I'm not as directly involved, but I watch, I see the politics. My heart goes out to all my trans brothers and sisters suffering from everything in the world that's going on right now. And I know beyond the realm of Trans Empowerment Project too, heart goes out to Gaza and Rafah and all the things going on in the world. And also, last but not least, and most importantly, thank you, all of you who tuned in tonight. It has been phenomenal to have you along. Thank you for donating. Thank you for being a part of this amazing fundraiser. Please tune in to the next stream that we host. They're happening all throughout the month. So come check us out on Tiltify, on our webpage, get the stream schedules, follow everyone here on the socials for updates on, you know, what they're in, what they're playing. At Legends of Logomancy is a great place to see what we're doing for Pride Revolution. And thank you to my wonderful players. Thank you, Archangelic. Thank you, King V, Blackwell, and Rye for tuning in and helping make this possible. And thank you to April Kit Walsh for writing such a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to be rating out to... Oh, yeah. To Total Party Chill. But as we're signing out, if each of the players want to give a little shout out, where can the people find you? What are you doing next? Self-promo time. Where can people find you?
I'll go first, I guess. I'm Archangelic. You can find me most places as Archangelic or archangelic.space. I run games on my channel Lantern Light Adventures. I run a D&D game on Sunday. Tuesday night, I run a Girl by Moonlight game, and we just started an Old Gods of Appalachia game on Wednesday afternoons. So feel free to tune into any of those. That's it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next. You all can find me as King V, that's King with a Y and an underscore at the end, or with my beloved gang, Baddie Bards, truly everywhere. We have Warm Sands, a Trophy Dark multi-shop going every Sunday over on our Twitch channel at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and season 2 of Echo, our sci-fi gay space opera, will be releasing soon.
Hell yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
So excited. And Blackwell, I'm going to force you to go next.
I was going to go last. Hey, everyone. My name is Christopher Blackwell. Again, just call me Blackwell. I am your everyman. I am the person that just kind of represents the everyday person. I have no affiliation to anyone or any organization. I'm just here to show you that, hey, you can do this too. You can find me on TikTok with the name Raising Dragon 95. I have an old one that I can't access no more. Don't pay attention to that one. Find the one that's new. You can find my Twitter, Atlas Terra 95. But otherwise, I'm here. You'll see me bouncing around from stream to stream. You may see my face. You may not see my face, but you'll see my characters.
Mm-hmm. And finally, Rock and Rye.
I'm Rye, aka Rock and Rye. Sometimes all one word. Sometimes it's got underscores between the separating the and, depending on which platform it is. I will be GMing next Tuesday, according to the calendar. I don't know if there's any games between that, but it doesn't look like it. The next Pride Revolution game, I wish Rick was here to tell me, will be my one next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's Pathfinder, aka Babies and Broadswords, meets Final Fantasy 14. And you can find me and currently Blackwell from this lovely group of people helping some littles liberate their little corner of Alamigo. Because Revolution.
I love that.
And later, I think one of the things I want to do this month for the fundraiser is those of you who play Final Fantasy 14 know that the expansion is coming out at the end of the month. I'm thinking about doing a Road to Dawn trail, see if I can get a character from 1 all the way through to level 1 all the way through to end of 90, ready for the expansion. Live. It's gonna be Blackwell's like I'm agreeing with Blackwell.
That's gonna be
might
a
tough.
lot.
That's gonna be a lot.
That's gonna be tough. And under a month, I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, I just finished Endwalker. It's been 2 months with 500 hours, and this is not even post Endwalker.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm gonna try my best, but at the end of the month, I'm probably also gonna be streaming the expansion because me and my guild are gonna be doing a lock-in. So if I can survive 72 hours playing Dawn Trail, but you can. That's what's coming up on the calendar for me.
Yeah. And of course, you can always find me at Legends of Logomancy's stuff or at my own at It's Neon Graffiti anywhere on the internet where I am. So, with all that said, we are going to raid out to Total Party Chill, a diverse cast of friends playing Glitter Hearts tonight. So send them love, say hi, let them know who sent you, and don't forget that being smitten is a game mechanic, and you can definitely exploit it for extra stat boosts. Take care.
Bye.
Yay.
Phenomenal.